So next Civ, like I'll let y'all talk because I don't really play it that much, but I've played it a few times and I generally don't like the coast, but I've always been very up on the Civ. I like them.
The Civ is awesome. I love it.
It's so good, right? Like, come on, man.
I never click the Civ because I feel like I look at it and I feel like it doesn't. Every time I look at the benefits, I feel like they don't do enough to get me excited about them because then you still have to be on the coast. But that being said, this is like the utmost, like this is the consistency Civ on the coast, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, the Civ is like awesome. You get so much stuff just for free.
Yeah.
Like the first thing you get for free is the gold on trade routes. Like just getting 4 gold per cargo ship in the early game is so much money that you can use to buy fish. You can like use it to buy city states. You can buy a workshop in a city you settle post NC, for example. It's like a lot of flexibility that is really nice. It can make Coastal Liberty easier too, because a lot of times those builds struggle on gold. But I mean, obviously, it's still good for any tree. It's amazing on Tradition. You get a lot of growth for sending externals, which is great in the late game. The Dow is fucking shit. Like this unit got completely killed by the coastal melee boats on it being unable to cycle anymore on Slam. So this unit is terrible.
Yeah.
But the Coral Port is another awesome free thing that you get. It replaces the workshop. You get so much culture from fish and other yields from other titles that like it's a great building.
I tried to dow somebody once, like before I knew that they nerfed how like melee boats work, and I got clowned on. It did nothing, and my attack was good. It was fast, and I had so many units. I was like thinking, oh yeah, they're dead, but no, the dows do nothing.
I watched besides... you show up with 20 dows and then being like you thought he was so dead. I think it was like Jeb or someone, and then you watch them slam the cities, and you're like, oh well, this unit sucks. I had no idea. Like, GG man. Like I guess this is done. Like...
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. I'm glad you remember. I thought like they would do something, and like they were city promoted too. So it's like, come on, man. And it just did like 2 damage or something, and like instantly was one shotable. And it's like, oh, I blew up my entire game instantly. Okay. Anyway, besides that though, like yeah, the UA and the Coral Port are both phenomenal, dude. And I don't think that's actually overstating it at all. They're incredible. Really good. Like it's completely free yields. It requires nothing to play around at all. And it's applicable in every coastal game, and it's exceptionally strong in every coastal game. And of course, there's a high roll element. Like if you have Coral, oh my god. But even if you don't have Coral, it's still pretty good.
All in all, I think the Civ is like pretty similar in power level to Carthage in the sense that like you get a lot of free gold and free demos early, but beyond that, it doesn't do that much. I would think it's like probably a little bit better than Carthage, but not significantly. I think I'd put it in the same tier as Carthage.
I think this is like
we talked
really.
Yeah,
we talked so much good shit about this Civ, but like the reality is all coastal Civs are insane. So
yeah,
I was gonna say they're like pretty comparable to Brunei, but I may be wrong.
No, Brunei is unfortunately.
The Civ is like, you get a lot more benefits than Brunei early game, but Brunei like is still better late game for sure.
Brunei scales so much harder, and like that's just what you want on the coast. Like you don't really like coast is unfortunate enough that like it's in a state where you just want to be scaling.
I mean, yeah, but I feel that like the quality of like say Tradition game you're gonna have on Kilwa in the early and mid game just cascades to the point where like you're gonna generally have a better time picking up wonders and such, and like having tempo that lets you scale through things like say getting pork or whatever that may be, pushing commerce faster.
I think it's fair, but at the same time, like the main thing the Civ does in the early game is not give you extra demos. It gives you like gold, it gives you culture from your fish tiles that like
gold feels, I feel like gold translates to extra demos pretty quickly on the coast though. Like if you're just buying fish and you have God of the Sea, like
it does, also, but like you can buy your fish on a lot of tall games anyways, so
I might be
this accelerates that process, but yeah.
I might be greedy, but like the Coral Port makes me really want to go workshops first, and if I lose God of the Sea, there's no fucking way I'm going workshops first. Like I'm going for Theo for those wonders, right? Like,
sure, yeah, of course. You're right, but that's a God of the Sea discussion, man, and I think like it's broken. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of the benefits of the Civ are from the workshop, right? And like on coast,
Yeah.
you don't always have the ability to go straight workshops. That's all I'm
that's
saying.
true.
That's
But I
true.
will say, like, from my experience on the coast, and I'm not sure if Knights agrees, but if I have God of the Sea, I love to go workshops first on the coast already.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
so
for
good.
sure,
Yeah, of course.
of course. So. I think this Civ is like the trad version of Carthage. Like, I think Carthage wants to be
Yeah,
Liberty. I think the Civ wants to be trad. I think if you want to put them both in A and we want to move them, that's fine. But I think they should probably be in the same tier
Yeah.
because
I
they.
think for what it's worth, I definitely prefer Trad over Liberty now on coast, just in this current meta. But so if you wanted to use that argument to rate kill wall higher, you could. But
Sure.
I
that,
still
that's
wouldn't
kind of
rate them.
where
I still
that's kind
wouldn't
of where
rate
I'm
them above
coming
Civ.
from. But I'll defer to y'all.
I mean,
My vote is like high B.
are we putting a coastal in S tier?
Yes.
Okay. Then if we're putting a coastal in S tier, we can put this in A. But otherwise, we should put it like if we're not, this has to go in B.
There are like a lot of coastals that exist that are still better than this, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, let's put it in B. Like,
That's
you're right.
that's
You're
true.
right. Because I do want some distinction between, like, it's right on the edge, and I think there's some civs that I would like some distinction between A and A plus in the future, because there are.
Yeah, the Civ does a lot, but it doesn't do like a lot, you know.
Yeah. Congo.
This should be a fun set to talk about because they're also a pretty interesting design. And like
Yeah.
two things are true about Congo. Like they're pretty scary because they make a tremendous amount of hammers and gold, but also like sometimes Congo games on your neighbors, they kind of solve themselves because at some point that person often winds up just dying due to happiness. Like I played a game the other day, and in the late game, I was fighting Pip on Congo, and he wound up minus 47 in the fight, and it was just hysterical, bro. I was like two-shotting mobile Sams in forts that are cover pro mode with stealth. Um, like I was one-shotting tanks like every time, no matter what. It was, and this is a Congo thing. Uh, do you really have to play around the happy in their Patro forcing, in my opinion?
They are Petro. They're highly Petro leaning. I think.
They're really scary though. If they've determined that they're going to fact R to you, you pretty much are just going to die.
Yeah, I mean the Civ makes fucking 7 hammers and 7 gold per city in industrial. Like that's so insane. But like
I.
you lose 2
Continue,
happiness
Mace.
per city, and it's a big downside. It's big
Yeah.
devoted elite.
Yeah, it's double devoted.
My biggest issue with the Civ, more than anything, is I don't know how to play them, and every time I play them, I feel low tempo because you lose a
Yeah.
pop in all your cities. Because either you're hammering down super fucking early in cities for your slave markets, like on 4 pop, and then it's a 67 hammer building, so like a 4 pop city can't build a 67 hammer building that quickly. It just doesn't. Or alternatively, you're building them at higher pop, and it's costing even more, and then your game feels like shit. So I played them on trad before. The games always they never feel high tempo. They always feel like kind of sluggish. I think they're best on like Sun God trad, which is like kind of counterintuitive because you get to rebound a little bit quicker. But sometimes
It's not counterintuitive. It makes sense.
um,
Uh,
but I don't know. Like how do you guys like to play the Civ? Because I
so
play them a
I
variety of ways, but I never have something that like hits me well.
Yeah, I feel I'm pretty good at the Civ actually. And the way I play it personally is I love to play them on 6 City Liberty, and I try at all costs to get GL if I possibly can in that game, because if you can, it really mitigates like the slow tech of, playing this Civ and losing a pop and teching Coliseums early. And kind of it makes it a wash in science. Like if you could just GL drama, even if you can't, they're pretty fine. 6 City Lib, and then you at some point kill somebody. And when you choose to do that, they will kind of just die. But you have to play Petro, in my opinion, or good luck. And you also kind of want to set up for a Noder hard build.
That's totally fair. The other thing that's really cool about the Civ that I'm going to mention, which I didn't realize until recently, when you kill someone and they keep colos in their cities, they become your slave markets. And so you never have to build them, and your cities flip so fast. It's like one of the coolest things in the world, right? Like because you have this like insane, like especially if it's Fact Arty, you have this insane, what is it, like 7 hammer, 7 gold building in it, right? Just to start, right? It's better than anything any honor courthouse could be, right? So,
I agree. I kind of like them sometimes for that reason because they kind of let you have a lot of the benefits of honor secondary if you're killing without having to click honor, and you can click the vastly superior Petro. Now the downside is I think they're really bad in end game. Like I think Knights is probably in the best position to talk about this since he's won a couple tourneys. But like in my experience, like messing around with your happiness in the end game when you might be on literally 3 to 4 empires can become very scary and lead to extreme disaster. And like you often wind up taking things like police state if you're in that kind of position, just to try to stay afloat. And if you're like -2 happy on like say 22 cities, that can create scary situations like where Pip went -47 and on Congo. If he wasn't on Congo, he would have been presumably -3 instead of -47.
he must have lost a CS or two in the process, right? Or something.
He lost his Forbidden City and he lost his Notor City. But I'm just saying, like this can create very scary situations in the end game.
Yeah, that sucks.
Truly, this is one of my least played civs in the game, which, I mean, it's my fault. Like, the civ is really interesting in my opinion and cool. But, like, my experience playing the civ is, like, I've played them on Piety before, and it sucks because you don't want to go construction on Piety early. And I think I was Apo on a Hammer Pantheon that game, so it didn't help my game with
That sounds
I had
terrible.
a lot of hammers and no science or pop.
It's like the worst way to ever play that game.
No,
But like you're
terrible. I was a noob, but like
you
that
would
game
just like
sticks out in my mind as like a terrible game that I played. That was like,
yeah,
goddamn.
that's hilarious. That's so funny. I feel like if you did that,
Congo
you would
was so
wind
bad
up.
for my game there.
I feel like if you played it that way, you would wind up just like building like spears and walls in your expanse because you have like nothing to build at all.
I think I built like everything, all
Yeah.
the buildings in my cities. But like, yeah, I mean, I still don't really like the Civ. I've played it like a couple more times after that and like had okay games. But I mean
something to bring up about the Civ Knights as well is like to your point, they're unflexible. You want to play them either on Tradition or Liberty, and if you play them on like you don't want to play them on Honor, and you don't want to play them on Piety. So, which I think you're
like
starting to get at, and that's probably why you don't like it and you don't like to click it that much because you either have to play them on like a slow trad or like this one kind of Liberty, which is like this like taller Liberty that's not feasible on all land, right?
I think a taller Honor build can also make sense on them, but yeah, I mean, I personally don't like the Civ still. Yeah.
I think they can be good on like an archers type honor game, and they're bad on like a wide honor game where you're like settling 5, catapulting 5.
I mean, I agree. I think that kind of honor's dead in this meta. So.
I think it is. I think this Civ sucks on trad, by the way. That's just my opinion, but they're terrible because like they're bad on 4-city trad because like you're teching colos and you're losing pop. So between those two things, you're not getting Chichen, GG, and like you might not even get GL Oracle. And they're also bad on 5-city trad because 5-city trad actually struggles with Happy and winds up relying on building Colosseums to maintain it, and also GG.
I think it's fair.
I mean, it's not worse on 5-city trad than the happiness is not going to be worse on 5-city trad than 6-city Liberty. Like it's going to be pretty comparable. Like both you're going to require the solution of like patronage to stay happy.
Well, that's not really true, but it's not because of the trees. It's just because of how you play the trees. Like if you're playing like 5-city trad, you're really playing to scale, and you're going to be wanting to just sit there and grow. Whereas like 6-city Liberty is pretty comfortable. Like if you run into that problem, you're happy to kind of just hammer down and kill somebody, to be honest.
That's kind of fair. I mean, but
it is
hammering down and killing someone is
trad early.
hard on the Civ too. Not because it's like killing them is hard, but if you're running into happy before you're killing them, you're definitely gonna have their happy issues after you kill them. So
I think it's worth saying one sentence about the border growth UA. It's cool. It's funny. It's really funny. It's funny to play lib.
It's funny to border growth, but
yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Ability to do more a lot of the time, you know.
Yeah.
Has anyone talked about the sword briefly?
Not yet.
I'll give one sentence about the sword. The sword can't attack. It has 15 strength. It has cover. It makes a Civ unkillable. Like you have to kill them either like with chariots before they get to the sword, or you have to kill them like with artillery.
Yeah,
you can't.
You can't crossbow. You can't crossbow the Civ ever.
You can't even like have cannon the Civ very easily either, right?
But the reality is, even if they didn't have that sword, you're stupid if you try to crossbow this Civ, because they have like nothing to do anyway but build units, and they have infinite hammers and gold, so you're gonna get reverse meowed.
Yeah.
Like, not a good idea. But yeah, the sword just adds to that. Like, these guys, like, if they're just sitting in front of the city in forts, like, the player could potentially just like go AFK and take their dog for a walk and come back like 3 turns later, and they would take an insta heal and survive.
Many times I've seen a player try to ear slam Congo, and it almost always fails.
I did it
Yeah.
once. I had a very fast expo, like 62 expo, and I tried to slam Congo and didn't work. Made a video on it. I think the Civ is C tier, is my opinion. Not because it can't compete with, I think the bonuses are very comparable to the B or A tier Civ bonuses, but I think the inconsistency and the inflexibility
Sometimes it just fucks
like
your game.
yeah, makes them like, I think the Civ is kind of similar to India that way. I think the Civ is probably more consistent than India, probably.
I think the upside is lower though. Yeah.
But the upside is lower. Yeah.
I think like that's fine. We can do that. Personally, I put them in B because I want to point out one more thing I forgot to say. If you're in any sort of game state that is devolved into like a duel somehow, like maybe it's like a soft lobby and there's just like it's you and Smiley. If you're on Congo, you already won. So yeah, it's kind of like Iroquois in that regard. You will outhammer and outgold people by such a tremendous margin that if the only thing that matters is killing them, and you killing one player somehow is like a win con, you win.
Last.
You will last. But yeah, that's not very common to happen in like a serious game. So they are like probably C.
Except I'm gonna add your happy caveat in there, where it's like, if you're in a duel and they like, and hypothetically like they snag your happy CS right after you do an arty upgrade or something, and you go unhappy, and then you don't have a way to fix it, or you lose a Notre City, right? Like,
that's a skill issue. A real gamer would always deck before they upgrade.
True. Good point. All right.
I'm gonna be honest. I was gonna vouch for the Civ in D tier, but that's just my personal bias.
Then we're putting it.
Okay, all right, we'll do C.
We'll do C. We'll see. C. I mean, it's the top of C, right? Like, let's put it up here. Let's not.
Bro's like, I played Apo, and I can confirm this Civ is D tier.
All right, Knights. Yap about Korea for 3 minutes while I go get
In fact,
water.
I wanted to say, like, we should just let only Knights talk, and he can just actually put them wherever he wants. This dude is like the world's leading. No, he can't put it in S. We won't allow that. But like, as long as he's serious and not trolling, like I think Knights can just rank this because it'd be funny.
I agree.
I love this Civ, man. This Civ is so awesome. It's like, okay, let's start with the unique ability. The unique ability is awesome. +1 Science from Palace is an amazing early game benefit. It's like, you know how Civs like Hittites start with mining. This Civ starts with +1 Science per Palace. That gets you all your early techs much faster. You're mining, you're sailing, all your luxury techs. Coast struggles a lot early game to get all the techs it needs between optics, trapping, getting to bronze working for Colossus. This helps you with that and throughout the entire game with science, as well as the science or specialist. The science or specialist and great percentiles is great. Like, that's a lot of science throughout the entire game. It's like Italy's bonus, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just very similar to Italy's bonus, and that bonus is great. And then what else do we have? We have the turtle ship. The turtle ship is a 36 strength caravel. That is pretty nutty. Like, you will last versus frigates as a Civ. This unit is kind of questionable on attack because it can't enter deep ocean, so you can like run into a lot of application of force issues with this unit if you try to use it on offense. But you can, honestly, I think the best way to use this unique unit is to combine it with the other unique unit, the Hwacha. I think the Hwacha is legitimately the best medieval unique unit in the game because this is a 26 range strength combat unit that comes at physics. 26 strength is an insane amount of strength to have in the early game. Like, a crossbow is 18, an artillery is 28. This is almost an artillery, and it comes at physics. Like, that is so much damage you can put on units. A lot of times, when you use this unit, you're fighting classical era units, which all get two-shot by this. People will be like, oh, horsemen can defend this unit. They don't. They slam this unit. deal like 33, take 33, and then just get blown up in return. Knights can defend this unit, it's true, but like Chivalry is a more expensive tech than Physics, so is someone going to go Chivalry and blow up their game? Well, then you don't have to watch it them. You can just go Workshops and have the option to watch it open and just not take it. Like, this unit is so oppressive if you actually want to use it on people that like they have to respect it and defend, but it's like it's such a small detour. You just go Physics from Workshops and you have access to this insane unit. So in my opinion, like, these units are insane. It's very similar to England in that regard, in the sense that you have two very strong, unique units that can get you like a lot of kills, but it also has a better unique ability than England, in my opinion. So I personally rate this Civ as like slightly better than England. So somewhere in between A or B tier. I probably would lean A though. I really love this Civ. It's so good.
Yeah. So I will say about the watches that I wasn't sold
Can't
on them
talk.
before. Well,
We just gotta
he
put
made
an
his
A.
case. He made his case. I'm not going to argue with him, but I just want to say something. I used to like sleep on the watches, but I was in a game with Knights, and I won't name names, but he watched a player who's a top tier player, like in both Sim and War, and the guy knew it was coming, and he still killed him in a pretty relevant time. And these units are scary, dude. They really are. On top of that, the UA is amazing. Like, the early science is amazing. The scaling science is amazing. It's amazing. I actually do think they belong in A. I've also had some busted games on this Civ, and I don't even play that much Ghost.
The Civ is really strong. It's really, really strong. I don't know if you mentioned the cog shit, but you can also just like not play cog and just plant a bunch of stuff and pick disciples, and it's still really good.
Yeah, I think COG is bait. I think the best way to play this Civ is probably just like coastal trad into commerce, and like you build a merchant, you get an early market, you plant a merchant early. Your early tech's fast because you're on this Civ, and then like you wind up making a lot of science late game because you're working specialists and you're planting merchants.
Best Bud
And you
just had a really cool Zero impression on this game where he played Trad Apo, killed the CS, not Trad Apo, Piety Apo, killed the CS on the Civ, and just I don't know if he took Unity or Disciples. I think he took Disciples, and he just planted all his profits, like planted a bunch of them, and then did like his best COG impersonation, and then he filled out all of aesthetics, filled out all of commerce, and then went tourism and won. And it was super cool. The Civ is just like, it allows for these unique situations and flexibility, and like it's not even things that like we're talking about when we're talking about all the things that like Knights is highlighting, right? Like, so I've also seen just like people play freedom on the Civ, and like you make order science as freedom because you have half of the ratio policy, right? Just on the Civ.
Yeah, I will say, like, with regards to flexibility in Civ, it truly is really flexible. Like, obviously, they're really strong if you want to just play them tradition and play like a fast science game. Maybe watch someone, maybe not. You get a lot of science out of that. It's great for tradition. If you want to play them Liberty, you can work so many specialists with and just get a lot of science like that. If you play Honor, you can catapult city states and then upgrade them to Huachas into a player, and that is completely devastating and extremely hard to defend. And if you want to play Piety, like, there's a lot of options. You can play like the fast Apo stuff, like you mentioned, or you can play City of God, this is like one of the best City of God civs. It's fun. I don't think it's the best way to play this civ, but it's pretty cool. So
I mean,
yeah,
City of God is just underpowered, but Korea makes City of God look like the best out of probably any civ in the game, other than the like, other than Vatican, other than Vatican and Madagascar, I would say.
Yeah, it's the best coastal civ for COG, but yeah.
Okay, I am excited to talk about this next civ.
Okay.
Good, because I hate the civ.
All right, I used to hate them, and this is going to probably be my most controversial take of the video, but I want you to let me cook a little bit. All right, I used to think this civ was terrible, and that's because it used to be terrible, to be fair. But in this civ, in this meta, this civ is broken. They're actually broken. Okay, I'm not gonna like say anything crazy like they belong in S or A+. They don't, but they're broken, bro. All right, scaling is strong right now, right? We all agree. This is like one of the hardest scaling civs in the game, I've noticed. All right, and like I'm not even kidding. Like, in my last like 15 games, like literally 2 of my losses come from sleeping on this Civ's ability to outscale me later. That's like 100% of what happened. Like I just was in a way better position than the Civ. I was way ahead in tech and wonders and purple and scaling rails and everything. And then I just underestimated their ability to catch up with me late game in various different ways. And they just pushed Ratio 5 out of nowhere. And suddenly, like, they were first to whatever, or like their Freedom 12 or something. Their Ratio 5 Auto 6 out of nowhere. They scale extremely hard to the point where, like, I'm starting to view the Civ as something that you have to kill at some point. You cannot let the Civ sit around forever. They don't show up with Cardoans, but like by Atomic and Info, this Civ is always broken. They're always broken. They scale so hard. They have infinite culture. They will catch up with you. Like they will catch up with you. There's nothing you can do. You have to kill them at some point. Like hopefully by modern.
I mean, I think you're correct. And on top of that, the pikeman makes this Civ extremely hard to kill early. Like a 40 hammer pikeman, that's a pikeman normally costs 60 hammers, but a 40 hammer pikeman is pretty ridiculous at defense. Like it's as soon as they get this unit, they're unkillable until like Artie at the earliest. So yeah, you do have to kill the Civ. Although personally, I think
even
the
at
Civ
Artie, like
yeah,
eating
still
through
do
this,
well against Artie.
like because the reality is you're gonna start with putting 20 pikes on the field, and then like Artie trade well into pikes, but Cav don't. So, yeah. Anyway,
But
sorry.
yeah, I'm with you, Thor. I used to think the Civ was like completely worthless, unplayable, but I do think the Civ is like as strong as you can convince someone to give you a religion. Like, if you're able to do that, the Civ is legitimately good. If you can't,
Yeah.
and sometimes you can't, like then the Civ does become like pretty bad, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Like,
And not only right now are we like in the most scaling meta, but we're also in the meta where somebody in the lobby is the most likely to play Piety and like want to give you a pilgrimage rel.
yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of people playing pilgrimage who are willing to give rels right now, so it's probably the best. It is definitely the best time to be playing Lithuania than ever, which is really cool. Actually, I like that. And
So
you're right. The Civ does scale insanely well. Like each Sacred Grove, like if you compare that to the yields, like something like Tibet got when they got like all these profits with insane yields in cities. Like each Sacred Grove is basically like one of those, right? Because it's like +1 yield per era on everything. So
Yeah.
it is kind of insane to scale. Yeah.
They're easily A tier. I could never justify putting them in B ever.
I was gonna say, with all that said, I would still put it in C tier.
What the hell? No.
Civ is not A tier, unfortunately. I hate this Civ. I never want to click it. One time I played Honor on it, and then I realized I couldn't find a religion, and I was like, how the fuck are you supposed to stay happy? Because Honor is so dependent on religion for happiness. And then I said I had a headache, and I eared out. Which I did have a headache. Like I wasn't feeling
Okay,
well.
so
I hated my game.
you
That
played them wrong.
That being said, I think the Civ is a little unflexible. I think they want to be Liberty or Tradition.
Yep.
I think
sure.
hypothetically, their scaling is better than Congo's.
It's way better. Congo is
Yes.
not a Congo is
It is
not
way
a
better.
scaling. Congo is not a scaling Civ, by the way. They're like a tempo Civ. So
Well, they hit a power
Yeah.
spike in like at some point in the game, right?
this Civ
question
makes
is-
Liberty. This Civ makes Liberty good. Liberty is, I agree, it's pretty weak right now, but it's not weak on the Civ. And Trad is already good. So like
I
losing
think the
Piety
Civ-
is not a nerf to the Civ.
Let me. I think the Civ is a B tier Civ. And
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with B tier.
I'll only agree to it because Knights lowballed me initially in the first offer. But the Civ is
The reason I lowballed is because if you don't get a religion, if you can't convince anyone to give you a religion, I think the Civ is F tier.
Yeah.
But
I think the Civ in tourney
lot of
is
times you
like
can.
D tier. By the way, like I don't think it's very good in tournament because I think people are even less likely to give you a religion.
Also, this is a Giga Loot Pinata Civ.
Yeah.
That's true. If that's true, and like in a more like honor tourney meta, like previous ones we've seen, the Civ's terrible, dude. It's horrible. You'll get slammed so any player can get they can get faith and tiles and stuff. But
I mean,
Civ is pretty
you
awesome.
can't slam them like early is the thing with the Civ. Like if the Civ gets a civil, it's not killable.
The Civ is like pretty awesome to play in like friendly like Rising Stars lobbies because people will just give you religion.
This is like the if
Like-
I'm playing a Babel lobby, I want to play Lithuania. Like
Yeah,
I
that's true.
I think like all right, this Civ is still good in tourney in my opinion. Like maybe I'm wrong, but you can like snipe a rel, bro. Like you can maybe like settle a city that will get pressured by somebody on purpose, or like you can steal a prophet or a missionary, worst case, and then like diplo out of it later and give them gold or something.
That's funny.
I mean, do whatever you have to do. You can secure the rel if you're motivated enough, dude. People are just not like ambitious enough, like with stuff. I don't know. You could get a rel. I promise you, I could get a rel. I might even play this in tourney and just like steal somebody's missionary or whatever. Anyway, on top of that though, like they're perfect in the sense that they like don't seem threatening for a long time. Like I've literally lost to this. Like just they
Yeah.
don't seem threatening. They don't seem like they're the
This-
game lead.
this
They
is
are
the-
if they live.
perfect Zero Civ, right?
Exactly.
Like where he's just gonna sit around, he's gonna spam culture, he's gonna click a bunch of policies, and then however he decides to win the game, he's gonna eventually want to win the game, and you don't have as much time as you need to stop him. That's how the Civ is gonna play. But that being
Exactly.
said, that takes a lot of skill to balance, and like it takes a lot of skill to play. You don't always get your religion. Even the religion that you don't always get is like does much. Like I don't know. I think it's a B tier Civ, and I think we can move on.
Okay.
But
That's fine. I think I would put like for me personally, I would put them as A plus, but I do think like generally they're B. Yeah.
A+ is insane.
I agree.
I mean,
This is
it
S
is.
tier in terms of
It
fun.
is what it is.
Hey, look, I wanted Khmer in S, okay? Even though that was I knew wasn't gonna happen. So
Yeah.
We all
All
have
right.
our Civs.
Let's let somebody talk about Mace. I'm going to start off with saying it's probably the best honor civ in the game, and that makes it impossible for it to be an S tier civ.
This Civ used to be
I mean,
top 5 Civ. in the
any other time, if you said that, you would be like instantly crucified because like
I know, and I'm glad I could finally say it, and it's actually true.
I don't know if it's true. Like
This
the
Civ
Civ
still
is
gets it,
still
like-
insane. The
No.
Civ is still crazy.
It's crazy for
But-
Sim. It's also like the Herotai or whatever. Like you hit medieval, and suddenly you have a 22 strength is it in medieval, right? 23 strength, general. So you're slamming in classical, and you hit medieval era, which happens frequently, and the guy dies because you have this unit that can't be killed. So,
Yeah, this thing does get very scary at medieval, but it's not the end all be all. You can still hold attacks from the civ, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but I've held attacks from the civ.
Well, I mean, I think this Civ is still like ridiculous. I think this Civ was actually compared to other like, okay, this is probably like one of the few honor forcing Civs in the game, but relative to other Civs that might want to play honor, I think this Civ actually got hurt less because the Civ actually
Yeah,
does want to go
we'll go
armories
armories.
early.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Unlike like a lot of the times previously, like you were not going armories before factories on honor a lot of the time, but now you
I
kinda have to.
actually do agree. For the record, I still think the civ's insanely strong. By the way, I just wanted to start out with a low ball so that we can't put it in S tier because I really think it's A plus. But it is actually good enough that honor is still consistently good on it, which
Yeah.
maybe that's the only civ in the game where that's true right now.
I think you guys, I think honor right now, like it definitely got nerfed really hard. I cannot deny that, but I think at this point people are like underrating honor. Like it's
Yeah,
still
that-
They
playable.
are a
It's
little
still-
bit.
You're right. There's always like a sensationalist overcorrection and stuff.
I think honor primary takes CS is bad. I've been playing a lot of honor secondary, and it feels worse. It's definitely still playable, as a secondary tree.
You always
But-
have to do
Eh.
honor primary civ.
What? No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying people are down on honor in general. That was my comment, right?
I think honor secondary is like it's still fine. It's like definitely a lot worse than before, but
That
like
was a
it's
lot
still,
worse than before,
it's
but
still
it's
playable.
fine.
I think it's consistently the worst secondary in the game, but that doesn't make it unplayable because things.
I
It's
do.
probably the best secondary in the game.
Okay,
It's the best
I
secondary
forgot
in the game
people-
if you have a kill, right? Like,
Alright,
or
I
you're-
forgot people believe Piety is a secondary. Like, it is situationally, like on some civs, like say Sue, but generally it's terrible.
I don't even think. I think Sue just wants to be aesthetics. Anyway, back to Mace.
Yeah,
I
that's a good
think
point.
this is unfortunately, as much as I'd love to put an A plus, is S tier. I think its ability to slam early is good. I think it makes Honor feel good. I think it's still insanely strong. I think you put this Civ in the best player's hands, and it will like Kuba played the Civ the other day, and his game was insane, right? Exits played this game the other day, and his game was also insane. And I still think the Civ is Honor has a lot of hidden benefits as well. Like warring is still like Honor warring. The cost of warring is much lower than the cost of warring for other players. Um, there's that hidden scaling outside of like the actual sim. Like once you get into the war, I think the Civ is S. I'm curious to see what Knight says.
I think the Civ is still S. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty redonkulous.
I will say the Civ went from being an auto ban every game in the lobbies I played to now I let it slip through drafts, and if people want to play it, it's fine.
Yeah, the ban rate for this Civ I've seen has definitely gone down, but
Okay, I mean they might be comparable to say Bulgaria or Georgia potentially. Best case scenario, I think they're like maybe bottom of S. I would put them in A plus. It's not the end of the world. They're nowhere near on the same level as Inca and Huns, which might deserve to be S plus or something.
We'll see. We'll see how big Gas gets, I think. But I think we can put them in the bottom of S for now, and I agree they're not a top 5. If you want to do like a top 5 at the end, I think that's reasonable, Thor. Because I think there's really 2 Civs in here that shine in S tier, which is Inca and Huns. I think Jerusalem's
I'll let
slightly
y'all
worse,
have
but
this one, but if you don't mind, let's move on to an actual S tier Civ.
this Civ got like a pretty significant nerf, to be honest. Like, I've seen the Civ way less recently. Madagascar.
What's a nerf?
The discount of faith purchasing. It used to be like 33% or something, but now it's 25%.
I don't think
so. Libraries are no longer 10 faith, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't do the Jesuit ship, but the Jesuit ship wasn't even that good. Like it was kind of a.
It was insane.
No, it wasn't good. Like
it wasn't good. If you got slammed, you like this is the same thing with Sanctified Apo. Like if you get slammed, it's just fucking dumb.
Correct. But sometimes you just get isolated positions where it's not correct for others to slam you. And in that case, it's insane.
It's always correct for anybody to slam you if you are like turn 69 observatories and you have 0 hammers. But like, yeah, okay. If you're behind a mountain range, then of course, like, yes, but whatever. Jesuit, in my opinion, was never the correct way to play the Civ.
I mean, there were so many good ways to play the Civs, though. Like,
yeah, there are. And like for the record, me and Kuba were like some of the quickest people to jump on Jesuit Madagascar, so I've played it a lot, and that's why I know it's okay. But this Civ's good on everything with Piety, and Piety's the strongest it's ever been, and this Civ is busted. Need I remind you that the wall has 2 food on it, which is like 2/3 of Feed the World?
Yeah, this Civ is not fair. You can't kill it after they enhance. You can kill it before they enhance.
It's a Piety Civ.
Even before, you can still buy walls in your cities to make it hard.
Yeah.
It's a Piety Civ that can't die. Like, that fact alone almost makes it S tier, because if you can't die on Piety, that is a really serious problem.
Yeah.
Also, like, if you ever get any pilgrimage going on the Civ, it's just, like, so insane, because you're going to plant a shit ton of profits anyway, and it's just going to feel awesome. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't have enough nice things to say. I have too many nice things to say about the Civ. I think also, it's just S. Like, it's... Continue.
I was going to say, I said earlier that Georgia was one of the best crossbow Civs in the game. This is the best crossbow Civ in the game. Madagascar, like, it's so dumb. When you use your unique unit, you faith buy a bunch of them.
Yeah, you can kill somebody so hard with this. Like, I remember a classic Arv game when he killed me years ago, and I think Knights remembers. And I put up a good defense. I had so many Knitsas, and he had so many Mapina.
So many units.
I've never seen so many units either. We both had like a front that was like spanning like 15 to 20 tiles in height, and the war lasted forever, and there's nothing I could do. So yeah, you can attack on the Civ, but also this Civ just clears on a sim basis. It just clears. Like, they will out-sim with the best of them. And they are never killable at any point in the game ever if you play Piety Commerce, because you cannot die in Classical, you cannot die to crossbows, you cannot die to Arty. And then at the point of Modern, you should probably be very strong and not be worried about dying anyway.
I mean, I think I don't know if the Civ is S tier. Like, I think before the nerfs, it definitely was easily S tier. But the nerf might have pushed it down enough to be A plus. I don't know.
They're as good as Georgia, in my opinion. They're as good as Bulgaria.
That's probably fair.
Yes, they're nowhere near on the level of like Inca or Huns. That's true, and they're probably not as good as Axum either. But Axum's insane. Thoughts, Smilos?
That's true. I think this is S tier. I think we may need an S plus eventually, but I think right now this is S tier. I think I think people ban the Civ every game, and I think they're totally justified in doing so. So
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, on to Smiley's favorite Civ.
It's not my favorite Civ. I have been playing a lot of it. The Civ I'm playing a lot of the Civ because I didn't play it a lot because I thought like the bonuses were so insignificant, and then I realized, oh my god, these bonuses are kind of insane. The Civ Manchuria recently got the buff, where
Stables.
the stables got double production, so Manchuria can build the stables extra fast. I think the big bonuses on the Civ are the bank is 67 hammers. It has 2 merchant slots, extra 10%, so 35% over 25% gold, and then the cavalry, which is 36 strength, I believe, an extra movement, and then also on the Civ, mounted armored and bomber units have volley, don't cost any maintenance, which just makes these units insane because it allows them to slam cities down. That all being said, I love the Civ. I think it's probably A tier. You can just cab people on the Civ. That's like one of the awesome things about the Civ. You can just build a bunch of cab, upgrading a bunch of cabs. The synergy with the bank having an extra merchant slot, you go like banking into cavalry, and you can spawn generally 2 merchants. So cab upgrades are 150 gold, and you can generally have like, almost 3,000 gold or 2.5K to just upgrade cab and just run someone over, and then slaughter every unit, which is fun.
I think like this attack can still be walled off by a good war player, like having anti-cav pikes and forts. And it can force you to go RD is what I mean. Like you will have to tech RD, but yeah, this has to be the best cav in the game, right?
Yeah, by far.
By far.
Yeah,
It's the best cap by far.
It's insane. The plane stuff's also good, and the bank is good.
So
Yeah, I agree. I think the Civ is B tier as well. Like the strengths the Civ has, they're like, it can be hard to feel them out because they are late game bonuses. You don't get that much early game besides the stable bonus, but they are like very tangible and very real. So I really like the Civ. But yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I love the Civ, but it's not A. Like you guys said, did I say A?
It's-
to start?
I heard you say B.
Okay.
I don't think it's A tier though.
Yeah, I don't think it's A. I think it's B. I think
it's
the
B.
Civ is better the better the person is playing it, and able to navigate it. But so it's like definitely because like killing people is hard, and a lot of weaker players struggle with that, and they struggle to use the cab, they struggle to generate the gold. But like this is like such an insane game in teaming triangles or duels because you have so much more gold than the other player. Because you're not paying for maintenance. So
the scaling on this Civ is like truly pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Thor.
All right. Thank you, Smiley. So, Knights has Korea, and this Civ, Maori, is one of my 2 Koreas. This is one of my 2 favorite Civs in the game. I will literally always click it no matter what if it's in my draft. And I have never had a bad game on this Civ ever. I don't even think I've ever had a game that was not like really good. In fact, like that Apo game I played with Unites was like recently was like I think a low tier game on this Civ because it's so broken, and it was still pretty good.
You had a good game.
The Civ's disgusting, bro. It's completely disgusting. All right, so basically your warrior has like 4 movement or so. It's 4, right?
Yeah.
For the first 5 turns of the game, which is, I don't care how broken that sounds, it's more broken than that. you just like it's like the Nubia effect where you get every rune, but you get even more runes than Nubia does somehow. I don't know how, but you do. Like you just get everything. You get everything, bro. Like you get every rune. Like you're always gonna get a food rune, a gold rune. Often you get 2 food runes. And better yet, you're going to like deny your immediate neighbor of getting any runes. Like whatever direction your warrior runs in, the guy in that direction is cooked. Like his tempo is done, bro. There's actually a video on Rye's channel where like he was playing some coastal civ and I played Maori, and I just like stole every rune from him, and he was like crashing out from the start, and then he just like deafened like 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, you
That's
also
what
stole
this.
his fucking city spot.
Yeah,
Like,
then I forward settled him.
he plays Liberty, and then he realizes he has no islands. He goes, "Shit, guess I gotta take this inland." And then he sees the Maori city settled there because like your settlers are so fast, right? And then he just
Yeah.
like he crashes out and deafens. Like it was fun.
Yeah. And he wanted to slam me, but the Civ's too strong to ever slam. You can never fight the Civ because their tempo is just too good early. So on top of that, like this bonus, by the way, which Smiley touched on, it applies to civilian units like workers and settlers too. So like you can actually settle like a turn faster than you can normally, which is a tremendous benefit to Sim. Like we all know, like settling a city on 3 is like a lot better than settling a city on 4. So the city you would settle on 4 has to be way better to justify it, because that's how much a turn matters in this game. This city, the Civ, just usually gets, unless like rivers fuck you over, it usually gets a free turn of settler speed on this Civ. These bonuses alone are incredible, and they're enough to make your game consistently amazing. It also applies to workers, so a worker can spawn, and like the turn it spawns, it can step on a forest hill iron, and it can start a chop the same turn. So you're also 1 turn ahead on worker movements, and even when you capture a worker from a city state, it just sprints back to your capital. Also on offense, this bonus is insane. Like you can I had one game where like I'm pumping out Cav, and then the turn they get produced to my capital, they just teleport like 30 tiles away to like the enemy's back line. It's like so unfair. Reinforced time is so high. On top of all that, they have this unique improvement called the Paw, which is available on engineering, and you put it on hills, and it gives you 2 food and 1 faith with adjacency penalty, so you can't have them adjacent. This is so good. Like it's infinite demos, and like if you're not on Piety, it's a free rail. You can play them on whatever tree you want, though. Like they're legitimately good on everything. People would say they have like an anti-synergy with Trad, but I actually will play this on Trad anyway because it's good enough that I'm happy to just take 5 city Trad and tech engineering before civil, and I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Or you can do it after civil, and it's fine. Anyway, I've ranted a lot. I'll let y'all talk, but I would personally put this very high.
The paw is that it gets an extra food at civil, so it becomes a 3. Like you get an engineering,
Yep.
you build a bunch of them. They're 2/2. Like because it's a hill, it's a 2 food, 2 hammer, 1 faith tile, and then it's a 3 food, 2 hammer, 1 faith tile,
Yep.
which is just. And then it gets even better at fertilizer, so it gets another food at fertilizer.
Yep.
And then also, by the way, you ever get attacked? Guess what? Your paws are forts. Like they have a 40% defensive bonus. Like insane. Like
the Civ is obnoxious in every way, dude. Like I don't want to ever see anybody else play this Civ. It makes me so sad.
The other thing with the Civ that's awesome is if you ever find yourself in late game war, all your fucking units come out and get to the front instantly, and can sometimes they come out of back city. Guess what? Now you have a land ship with 6 movement running on the railroads that could maybe even slam the turn it spawns from a back city, which just doesn't happen, right? So, Civ's awesome. Knights, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, I previously didn't rate the Civ that high, but you've definitely convinced me on like A+ minimum for the Civ.
Yeah. I would always choose them to put them in S, but I can't trust myself because my own biases come in so heavily here. I just love the Civ, so I'm fine with A+. But like the Civ is insane, dude. I can literally play this, and there can be an Inca player in my lobby. I do not feel disadvantaged at all.
I can see yes. The Civ does seem pretty insane after you've described it.
It is so broken.
This Civ is so awesome. I have a really hard time putting it above like these A+ tier Civs.
I don't for the record. The only reason I'm saying A+ is to like try to account for my biases, but like this Civ is way okay, I don't want to say way. This Civ is better than Macedonia, and it's better than Bulgaria. I don't care. It's okay if y'all disagree and want to put it in A+. I won't cry. I will just keep playing the Civ. It's always S in my mind.
The only thing I have against the Civ is you do get a lot of ruins, and the pawns are good, but sometimes you just get a little unlucky with the rune and the variance, so your game doesn't feel insane. And when your game doesn't feel insane at the start, the Civ feels like the tempo fizzles out a little bit, right? It's not like a huge complaint, but like Belgium, you have one hammer on all your plantations for the entire game, right? And
Yep.
so like this tempo has to be like overwhelming to kind of surmount that, right?
It
And
is.
I don't know, and I think most of the time, I agree. I've had some super insane games on the Civ. I also love the Civ. I don't know if it competes with some of the S tier Civs, but if you really want, we can put it in S. I'll give it to NytesDawn side.
I mean, to be honest, I have not played enough this Civ recently, but I do feel like the Civ often has insane games, so I would not be opposed to S. But I mean, the way I would rank it is probably like around Argentina, Belgium. So
Yeah.
like I think the bonuses are actually pretty similar to a Civ like America or Iroquois. So
I
that's
mean,
my
America
rationale.
games also feel insane, right? Like, and
Yeah.
Maori games do feel more insane than America games, but not consistently, and or not like
Uh,
the most. Not let me rephrase, but it's not like the most consistent thing ever, right? It is consistently like if there is like a standard deviation, like Maori is the better of the two. That being said, it just doesn't scale that hard. The Civ and like
it does.
the pause are good, but like the adjacency means you don't get a million of them instantly.
It doesn't matter. They are such high food, high hammer tiles with faith on them. You will always have like as much pop as you want on this game, on the Civ, always. And the tempo is better than America. It is substantially better than America. If you low roll and you have like a cap that has river crossings on every tile and you completely use your unique ability basically, it's as good as America still. It's no longer better. It's comparable.
I'm convinced the Civ is better than America, but
It's way better.
I do kind of agree with Smiley though that like the Civ doesn't have the same like scaling capabilities as some of these other like S tier Civs. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I
I'm
think
fine with A plus.
I
It's fine. Put it on A plus. I get the argument. It doesn't scale as hard as like say Madagascar. That's true.
Yeah.
You have to do something with your tempo, but like you will probably.
Anybody know how to pronounce the Civ? Maori?
Moria.
Moria. We just
Thank you. I always they're fucking next to
Maori
each
was
other.
the previous.
I know,
like-
and I actually think we're like pronounced. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, we're probably pronouncing it wrong.
I hate this Civ. The Civ went from a top 10 Civ, maybe top 5 Civ in the game, to complete dog shit.
So I was hoping one of y'all would like be very informed about the Civ because I'm not. I don't like playing them, but I suspect they're very strong. So like the nerf, if I recall, it was like they got rid of the worker and they replaced it with a unique missionary, right?
Yeah. And then
this
they also
Civ on
now
Piety is broken. Go on.
they also don't have the combat malice when attacking anymore, so they just have a defensive bonus. What's the other change when they made this change to Civ?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but you used to like have a 10% defensive bonus minus 10% offensive. So
I do recall, yeah. This Civ is broken. I think okay, not like maybe broken's a hyperbole, but it's strong, dude. It's very strong. I don't like to play them. And the reason I don't like to play them is they're just weird. Like you have to go pottery to build a monument. Anyway, the way they're very strong right now is they're a very strong Piety Civ. Like, and what convinced me of that is I played with, oh man, who was it? Did you see this game, Smiley, where
yeah,
I was like Tradition?
I know it was Molly.
It was Molly. Okay, we played with Molly, and Molly's a very good player. But he's not known for like his fantastic sim. It's not bad, but it's not like super great. But he played this insane sim game on the Civ, and he was wide piety, like 7 cities, and he got like turn 80 leaning, turned 80 leaning on this Civ, and he didn't have GL, and I just like could not wrap my head around it, and so I thought about like the unique missionary and did some math, and if you're playing like a pilgrimage type game, you are going to get roughly, let's see, per citizen. So you're going to get roughly like 300 science, 300 culture, 300 gold, and 300 faith from like a good case pilgrimage game. That is like 2.5 to 3 turns off of your universities and 2.5 to 3 turns off of Leaning Tower. Or more like a turn and a half off of Leaning, 2.5 turns off of universities.
It's hard to say because you build your unis and then you work your slots, right? And so like getting to unis faster is less on leaning, right? Too, but
we can say it generally like speeds up your early to mid game tech by 2 to 3 turns, on top of giving you a tremendous amount of free gold, culture, and faith. And it also has a monument that costs 13 hammers, which does get you first panth, by the way. So I think the Civ is strong. I haven't played a lot of them though to talk about it anymore.
I also have not played the Civ since they reworked it and got rid of the fast worker, but it does seem pretty decent now. The unique ability is also a lot stronger now because, no penalty on attacking is.
I have not
what
played.
that is.
Yeah, I have not played the Civ. I don't think maybe it has been a tournament, but I have not. I played the Civ once, but I've not played it Piety since the change to the Civ. I do think Thor, that case was the best case for the Civ. Like that was.
It is.
He had
It
like
is.
35 cities following his religion, right?
Yeah.
So that being said.
By the way, real quick, the numbers I calculated are assuming you have like 22 cities on the map. In his case, it was more like 450 of those yields. But go on.
No, and it's an insane, but you have to get someone to accept your rel, and even if you're Piety, and even if you have a rel that's like a good rel for someone to take, right, which you do most of the time when you're Piety, the chances that someone actually wants your religion is only about like, it's 50-50, I would say, right? It depends on the lobby, it depends on who you're playing with. Like if you're playing NQ, like a random NQ lobby, the chances are way lower. If you're playing like a more casual lobby with friends, or even a more competitive lobby with friends, right? Or even a tournament lobby and voice, I think the chances are a little bit higher. That being said, like that's the only thing the Civ is good at. Like the 13 hammer monument is good, don't get me wrong, but that's it's an okay unique building, but it's not overwhelmingly strong, right? It's not compared to like some of these other unique buildings. It's like on the weaker side, and the unique ability is a pretty weak ability for a unique ability.
Yeah, that's true.
So and like with those things being considered, right? Like I think the Civ can have some situations where it can shine, but I have a hard time placing it pretty highly on this chart.
Yeah,
I do
that's
think like it definitely is a downside that like in order to have this insane game, you have to play a faith panth. You have to be the one having the first rel and getting pilgrimage out quickly. So that is kind of restrictive in that way. Like obviously it's restrictive. You can't play tradition on the Civ ever.
yeah.
Liberty is probably still fine on it, but I kind of agree that this does seem strongest on Piety. So
I think like looking at all of our S and A plus tier civs, every single one of them has versatility, because to be ranked that high, you have to be versatile. This is not only piety forcing, but it's pilgrimage forcing actually, which is even more specific and niche subset. So you're likely to get any benefit from this in a lot of games you play. And if that's the case, if you just play this on Liberty, like with a cheaper monument, this is like a C tier civ at best. But I think like the niche elements of it that could make it like S tier in a specific game, they easily bump it into B in my opinion.
I mean, Thor, are you clicking the Civ now? Like after you saw that Molly game?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
okay.
How would you compare to like Sweden? Because I would think Sweden is pretty similar to the Civ in that sense, where like it has a nice gimmick it can use. But
Sweden, I think, is actually a little better. Versatile. Sweden's better. It's more versatile. And like it's not that bad to be piety forcing, but it is kind of bad to be pilgrimage forcing, because you have to fit the requisites of not only its piety, but people accept your rel, and that's really out of your hands. It's completely luck.
Okay, I think B is fair then. But like, there's an asterisk that Civ can be way stronger.
No doubt.
I unfortunately think this is like in the Congo, India conversation.
Nah.
But I do think It's a little bit more versatile. I think.
Unlike Congo and India, there's nothing bad about the Civ. No aspect of it makes your game worse at all. Everything is free.
That's true.
I just meant you're pigeonholed into doing like something like
You'll,
a specific
like,
kind of play.
Also, it's probably fine if you just play like normal piety without pilgrimage. Like you still get a small
Yeah.
bonus, right?
It's fine. You can still flip city states. Yeah.
This Civ is probably better than Israel, or
It's
Israel.
definitely better than Israel.
So
Yeah.
we'll put it in B. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Speaking of another average piety save.
He's rage baiting.
All right. We've all played a lot of this Civ. I think everybody just knows.
I played it one time and I did something degenerate on it, but
we all know this. No, you've played it more than once, but yeah, once recently.
No, I know seriously. that was my first game on the Civ. I've never played the Civ before that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's broken, right?
That's why
we should all. I think we all agree the Civ's S tier. It's just so stupid.
The Civ, if you're left alone, is probably like the best Civ in the game. But like,
yeah,
I mean, it's also a magnet for slams because everyone knows it's like the best Civ in the game. But you're kind of a glass cannon.
This Civ is easily the best Civ in the game in a Baba lobby, or like a chill lobby with your friends where you're not like trying super hard to win. It's broken, but yeah, there are Civs that are better, and we'll touch on that later.
It's like the problem is that everyone wants to slam you when you play the Civ because your game is always going to be insane and you don't really have bonuses to defending. So, like, okay, the reason why the Civ is insane is because the pyramid gives you extra faith and 2 science, which is absurd, and you get so many free great people from the long count calendar. Like, that's such a crazy bonus.
Yeah, this Civ
I think
is
we all think the
broken.
Civ is like easily highest here, right?
This is maybe the only Civ in the game where I've actually never heard a single person argue it's not S tier. Because if you look at any of these other Civs we put up there, you will find like one hot take about how it's A+ tier or A tier. But I've never even heard that with Maya. Nobody would ever say that.
This Civ is S tier. This is a top 5 Civ in the game for sure. This is up there with the top 3 right now, which are Inca.
Wait, don't say it. Oh!
What?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna make a prediction on the final top 3.
No, no. The top 3 that we have up there right now. I think there's a firm cutoff at Axum. I think probably we like. I think
Jerusalem is now more comparable to Axum, and I think like our top 3 are in their own tier right now. Truly.
Yeah, sure, that's fair. But I think I mean the Civs. I banned the Civ every game. You RD'd me, you hate RD, and I never wanted to see the Civ again. No, Thor.
Yeah,
that's literally what happened. Like, so I banned it every game.
And this is back when I was not as good, by the way. So like I couldn't even reach anything remotely close to that back then without being on Maya. It's just so stupid. So since then I've hit 77 RD in an NQ lobby once.
Insane. All one of your artilleries. Let's go on to Mexico.
I think Knights will have some stuff to say, but I actually like the Civ.
The Civ is fun. I like it. It's not very good.
It's not very good.
I think it's pretty good. It's not like great. It's not like high up there.
Like, I don't think I would pick it over most of the B tier Civs.
I would.
I will say it's nerfed right now heavily. The reason it's nerfed heavily is the way you play Mexico is you go pottery first no matter what, and you go granary first. And that is always correct. You cannot play the Civ any other way than that. And that has always made Liberty on this Civ pretty sketchy to the point where it's not really an option. So it's kind of tradition or piety forcing. And being tradition or piety forcing doesn't sound that bad, especially in this meta. But the problem is right now you want to build a monument on piety for a lot of reasons. First of all, like the hammer-on opener makes monument better. So like relatively speaking, it's worse now to be piety on the Civ. Also, the really bad part though is you will lose first Pantheon on this Civ, for sure. And if anybody in the game wants Earth Mother, you are automatically losing feed indulgences. And then you're playing piety without feed indulgences, and then piety is no longer that good. So the best way to play this Civ right now is on tradition. On tradition, they're very strong, but tradition is not something you can force on every spot.
I don't know. Like, the Civ's unique ability besides the worker, like the city states gaining influence, is such a gimmick. Like
I don't
it
believe that's a
doesn't work.
bonus.
It
That doesn't
doesn't
do
work most
anything.
of the time, and even when it does, like you only get it for like a few turns, and then the city states stop demanding or like accepting tribute. So that shit's like most of the unique abilities. Just you get a free worker at pottery, which is good. That's like the best part of the Civ, in my opinion. The unique settler, I actually hate this unit, man. It's so bad in my opinion that like
Unique
I
settler.
can't stand it.
So
Unique
here's
settler
like
is gimmicky and not super good. The one thing I'll say about the Civ that I think we discredited a little bit too much. You can play Liberty on the Civ. You
can.
can. I have. The way you do it is you go pottery first and you go scout monument.
Yep.
The issue is that choosing Liberty, essentially locking yourself heavily into Liberty, when you're there. And I actually Thor, I think you can play scout monument and
Yeah,
click
you can
Piety
pivot into Piety if you want.
if you really wanted to. But it does make your games more inconsistent, right? You're gonna get less runes. You have to be better at scouting. You have to probably build another scout later most of the time. But I think
okay, that's fair. It's fair even to the point where I'll say I stand corrected. But I don't like to have to open Scout Monument potentially. I like to be able to build
and
double
that's
Scout
fair, and that's totally
because
fair.
I just personally my playstyle I really prefer to have a good amount of information before I hard commit to anything. And I don't like that optionality being taken from me. I'm fine going Scout Monument sometimes, but I don't want to have to potentially do it every time if I'm on this Civ. I don't want to like make a wrong policy choice on turn 3. I will say though, like I think like the hidden best part of the Civ is it has the Assyria Korea effect, where like because you have a granary in your cap and you're like usually like 6 to 7 pop by the time you're done with settlers.
Science is
You
fast.
your science is fast, and on like a say a tradition or even a piety game, that kind of just means you get Oracle 99% of the time. So that's good.
I remember my first tournament game ever. I think Luca yelled at me. He goes, "Why would you play tradition and think you could get Oracle if there's Mexico in the game?" After
Yep.
I got same turned on Stonehenge and then very much beat to Oracle.
It's true. Yeah.
And like that's a real concern, and like that's something that like I think bonuses like that, like even though they're not necessarily written to the Civ, but like the tangible bonuses of how things play probably pushes this out of the bottom third of the tiers, right? Like I think
Yeah,
this probably is a B tier Civ, but
it's pretty middle of the pack. The windmill, by the way, I just want to say the windmill's really good.
Yeah.
And
Really good.
also freedom is really good.
Freedom's
So
the best spot it's ever been, for sure.
There's some freedom is actually like playable. Like it could be as good as auto in some situations. So like the windmill being good is pretty relevant.
Yeah, I think this is a B tier Civ. I want it to be better, but
Yeah.
it's not. Like it's just
No, it's B tier for
C
sure.
tier, yeah.
Personally, I think it's weaker. I think it's C tier, but I won't argue. Like, I think the badness of the settler is enough to move it down for me, but
Okay.
it's whatever.
I mean, the settler is bad. It's not a benefit. Is it C? You think it's like you're clicking like you might click Germany over this or Austria over this?
No, that's
Or
rage bait.
Ireland over this? Or Gauls? Like Gauls is probably the best one, but like do you not think this is better than the C tier Civs?
I'll pick this over literally any C tier civ,
I would
but
too.
like
I would too.
there are a lot of B tier civs that I would consider picking over it, so I think it belongs in B.
No, I was specifically asking Knights because he's the one hesitant, but like because Thor, I agree with you, right? I'm on the same
Sorry,
page.
sorry. What was the question again? I was
Look at
not
the C tier
watching.
Civs. What would you rather play, Mexico or like Germany or Austria? Or
I think you're right. I
Israel?
would rather play Mexico over most of these civs.
Okay.
So that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
I still like the civ. Like the civ is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's not the best Civ in the world though. I agree. I think this. Oh, I skipped a Civ. Mongolia. Does anyone have strong opinions?
Nope.
The civ definitely got hurt with the honor nerf.
Yep.
This was a very Rye civ. Yeah, I mean it's just directly hurt by the honor nerfs, and it doesn't have like strong ways to compensate for that like Macedonia does.
I think. Do you guys think Keshiks are real units?
Yes,
I think they're a lot more real than
they're
camels.
they're like the same as camels in my opinion, where like they can get you. They're really good at getting you a free kill. They're decent at doing a long grindy war, but those are like pretty hard to win games off of a lot of the time. So they're like a good unique unit that can kind of create their own timing, but it's not like amazing.
Cons are pretty good. Their general's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dude, I do not give a fuck about cons.
They increase healing like a lot, if I recall, which you heal a lot with them nearby. But the fact that I'm bringing it up just means the rest of the civs like pretty unremarkable. They don't have anything that's that strong about them.
I didn't like this civ when they were strong in like order honor meta, and I really don't like them now. So
yeah, I think they're actually C tier right now.
yeah.
I want
just
them to
again
be better
they're
than C tier, but they're not.
they're just very hurt by honor nerfs, and like unlike Macedonia, again they don't have a way to compensate for that.
Yeah,
at all.
All right, so for this next civ, I think when I think of an A+ civ, this is like the civ I think about. It's like such a textbook A+ civ for me.
Yeah, it's like so A+. Yeah,
it is. It is A+.
It just belongs in there with all those civs.
There's so many good things about it. Like, it's not like top tier, but it's just really good.
Well, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So I think the thing everyone thinks about when they play the civ is the castle. It's the Alcazaba. Gives +3 science and +10% food in the city. That is a crazy good bonus. Like it's the floating garden that it comes way later, yeah. But the floating garden is one of the best unique buildings in the game, and it has +3 science on top of that. So yeah,
Yep.
like it's pretty awesome.
And there's 0 terrain requirements, by the way.
Yeah. So you don't have to grieve how you settle your cities like with Aztec, but yeah. So more is automatically insane scaling with that.
Yep.
The other awesome thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say any castle civ, by the way, in my book is good because it forces you to want to take Noish, and taking Noish is something that you should already be doing, guys. If you're a responsible gamer, don't forget to take Noish.
There's nothing sadder than when you play like one of these Noish civs and you don't have a Noish city.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to like actually try to settle a Noish city for these civs. It's actually
I feel
worth
like half the time when I play the civ, I'm like, bro, why do I not have a Noish city? I'm so depressed, you know?
Yeah, I just like plan around having one and try to settle up by a mountain.
Yeah. But anyways, like the other awesome part about the civ is the unique ability. +30% production towards buildings in the medieval era is awesome. Like that's around the time when you want to be building like the most buildings. It's like when you think about it, when you want to be building buildings, it's like all throughout the early game, classical, medieval, Renaissance, industrial, and the civ has 30% production bonus towards buildings in the medieval era, decreased to 15% in industrial, but that's still really good. So that's so many extra hammers that gets you through your build queue. The civ is awesome on like basically every tree. The bonuses are great for everything.
Yeah, I mean that bonus breaks down to like slightly over 1.5 synagogues per city in medieval, like accounting for the base hammer. So pretty disgusting and very versatile. Like I know one way a lot of people like to play the city or the civ is on Apo because you're like teching Theo really quickly and you get that bonus online extremely quickly. And what that does is it makes you pretty unkillable because like you're just so solid in your build queues that like you can actually do stuff like build units out of expands, like if you're feeling threatened and it doesn't ear you. But they're good on everything. Like there's no tree where you don't want that bonus. Like on Liberty, you can just be massively ahead in your build queues and have a lot of free hammers to kill somebody.
Yeah, the civ is always relevant.
Civ's awesome.
Worst part is the UU.
The UU, it's like it's kind of similar to the other ranged cavalry. It's good at getting free kills, but it's not really good beyond that, you know.
It's good
Classic
if you can
mounted range unit.
Stomp someone who is behind in tech, and you don't have to go all the way to Artie. Like that is what the civ does or what the unit does very well. So
yeah, I guess the only other thing to talk about is like the reason the civ is not S is because like the bonuses are strong, but they're not like super game breaking.
Mm-hmm. They're strong and they're consistent, but they're not.
Yeah, they don't come online till medieval.
Yeah. I think this is an A+ Civ for sure.
Yeah, they're like the A+ Civ. Like, anyway,
I like how you guys instantly agreed with this is
Yeah.
textbook A+ Civ.
hey, that's
Well,
just like so
it
true.
just doesn't feel like all of the all the S civs have some sort of mechanic that feels like this is disgusting. Like I want this, and there's no counterplay against it, right? And Moore's doesn't really have that, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of the
Yeah.
Morocco. Mason hit 105 land chips on this on Trad.
Yeah, I watched that video and it had nothing to do with the Civ. It had everything to
literally
do with
nothing to do with the Civ.
he literally had no neighbors at all. Like his only neighbor just went ear, and he was doing stuff like queuing up like a 17 turn to expand Great Library, and everything he ever queued fired no matter what, and he worked through the entire game. So it's like, yeah.
I didn't
I mean, I think
didn't
the
see
Civ
that.
is.
I only saw the middle of that game. I didn't know he queued up with 17 turn expansion.
I think this Civ has got some sauce after all the buffs it got, because it got
Alright.
a lot of buffs.
I'm glad somebody's gonna make the case, because it's not gonna be me. I don't know enough about the Civ.
I mean,
Go for it.
I'm really
I still don't
glad
think this Civ is very good.
this Civ is a C tier Civ with sauce. Now go ahead, Knights. Like,
I mean, some might argue it's B tier. I'm not going to make the case for it.
Fair
You get
enough.
you get a lot of culture and gold from trade routes, external trade routes on the Civ, to the point where like it's low key just worth sending out externals in classical era and just never feeding your cities. I know it hurts, but like, okay, maybe it's
Nah,
not.
I mean,
but, like, it kind of is, you know.
I mean, you actually raised a good point. Like the UA is actually really strong. I kind of forgot about that.
And obviously, you really want to be Petro on the Civ or Commerce.
Commerce, yeah, and
Either
those
Petro
are
or
like
Commerce are both
those
awesome.
are usually the two best things to be, anyways. That's not much of a trade off.
Casbahs are pretty awesome, but also draw on guilds, and they're pretty restrictive. You have to build them on fucking desert tiles, so they're only really good on desert hills. But they're still nice. Berber cavalry are pretty gimmicky unit. They're insane on desert, but just whatever elsewhere. So, I mean, yeah, the main story of the Civ is the external trade routes, which are insane yields.
The thing is,
And
like, the yields are
that's the whole
great,
Civ.
but the opportunity cost is also
Yeah,
really high.
there is
Like
a huge opportunity cost.
your cities do kind of suck when you send these out for a long
Yeah.
time. And so I think actually like the Civ's almost forced Petro over forced commerce, and then you just buy all the CS with all your extra gold. It's
Yeah.
probably my guess, but maybe you can still make commerce work. Maybe like you can have enough food and city support, but I think it's
The thing
pretty
is,
hard difficult. So
this external caravan bonus has to be so insane because internal trade routes are broken, right?
yeah, exactly.
Like they have to make the numbers on this like absurd in order for it to be good, and they are absurd. Like it, so it is good, but that's all like what the Civ is balanced around, and I don't think that's enough of a power budget for it to be above C tier.
Well, the other thing is the other two issues with the Civ is that it's a unique ability, unique improvement, and unique UU, right? There's no unique, like if there was a unique building that was insane, like the Civ could actually be quite good, right? But the unit on it is pretty is pretty situational to say the least, and the improvement is situational to say the least. So those things combine to make the Civ maybe situationally okay to good, but not insane. So
yeah, agreed.
we don't have any issues with C.
C it is.
Cool. The next Civ is Mughals.
So I bet Smiley can shed some light on this Civ. I've actually never played them once, but my hypothesis is this is A tier. This Civ seems really good. They're not insane, like they're not A plus, but I think they're a solid A. They have a lot of stuff about them that's like very powerful and very scaling.
I'll talk about the Civ a little bit. The Civ's incredibly gimmicky. In some instances of its unique abilities. So if you have so for each population, so you don't want to find your own religion. You want to take someone else's religion. If you take someone else's religion in a city, the city will give you +1 science, culture, and gold. So like the soft yields of Civ for each 5 population in the city. If someone spreads it to you, they will also get those yields in the capital. Holy cities receive that bonus for at least one original city. So let's say Thor is Piety and I am playing the Civ on Liberty. I would ask Thor to spread it to my religion because it gives him some bonus and it gives me some bonus. I would get the bonus of the religion in addition to these yields, and Thor would get these yields just in his capital, so just in one city. The technical correct play is to like spread to one city and not spread to all of them, unless you are pilgrimage, and then you should spread to all of them. So, and kind of make that player work to get that religion in all of their cities and have some buy their own missionaries and so forth.
Well, the correct play would just be to not spread to them at all if you're not pilgrimage, right?
I think spreading to one's kind of okay and making them work for it because it just delays it so much. But the thing with the Civ is, and in this meta, I think this Civ is really, really good because I think it's a counterplay pick. Because if the Piety player you spawn next to, if you play Liberty on the Civ or Honor, but Honor's kind of icky, so maybe not Honor, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to spread you my religion. What you should do instead is just kill them and take their religion, because then you get all the benefits and you get the religion, and then they can't do anything about it because they're dead, and and their Piety and your Liberty or something else, and then you have this religious benefits and 2 empires, right? So then your game's going to be insane after the fact. The other thing that's really, really awesome on this Civ is this Civ has a unique caravansary with a very, very cool design. So what it does is that it still has the yields of a caravansary, so it's 2 base gold. But then when you have a garrison in a city, you get an additional 3 culture and 2 gold from having the garrison. So technically the garrison should cost like 1 maintenance. So it's 3, like let's just say it's and if you build a scout, it's a caravansary is 50 hammers, a scout's 16. So that's 66 hammer caravansary for 3 culture and 3 gold, which is just, if you compare that to an amphitheater, an insane building, right? So that's something you want to be building on in every single one of your cities. And it also makes Honor stronger because Honor has your garrisons anyway. So this definitely was an Honor Civ-ish. I don't think people experimented enough with the Civ. I think the Civ is frankly insane. I think it's still being underplayed. I just think it's like people don't understand how to play it. And when in this meta, when you have a Piety neighbor as one of your neighbors most of the time, you should just go fucking kill him, right? So I think the Civ right now in this meta should be A+, but I'm very happy if you guys want to put it in A.
I think the only thing that keeps it an A is the inconsistency of getting a rel.
So I think the Civ actually plays. It's kind of like Lithuania, but not super dependent. Like not as dependent on getting a rel as Lithuania, in my opinion. But I actually really like playing the Civ on Trad because I think Trad makes really good use of the caravansaries. You get a lot of the extra gold and culture, and you can actually fill the garrisons pretty easily. You have a lot of spare build queue as Trad, and you do appreciate the extra culture. But my problem with the Civ is that outside of the caravansary, which doesn't even really it's not even really that early of a bonus because it's on currency and it only gives you culture and gold, which aren't really good instant yields for your game, right? The Civ doesn't have early bonuses, and you can just have a mediocre game on them because you don't have anything to help you out early game. So for that reason, I don't think the Civ can be in the same tier as A+ or S tier Civs, because
not at all.
You can just have a weak early game on them and then have nothing to help you out. So
I totally
agree. I just think the scaling on the Civ, if you get a religion, is way higher than the scaling of a Civ like America, right?
Yeah. And I think that's why they're very comparable to something like Italy in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the problem is the Civ is for me, the Civ is too situational, and the downsides of you can just have a weak early game, or you don't get a religion or real enough that.
That's true, but do I have to bring up that we put Golden Horde in A tier?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think it can be above A tier.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
I would like to put it in A+. I totally understand that we're gonna put it in A.
Also, just funny side note, it's really insignificant, but it is funny. Their caravansary also gives you 5 combat strength in your city. So you can just build Great Wall And then suddenly, like, you can't really die to expos anymore. Like, if just build a wall in your forward city, especially if it's on a hill, it's going to be like over 40 combat strength, which is just hilarious.
Yeah. One thing to bring up that's actually a downside on the Civ is the cannon. Cannons are not particularly strong unit. This cannon has 3 movement, so you can actually move in enemy territory, set up and shoot, which is cool and is stronger, but it's cost 33% more production. And the Civ doesn't really struggle on gold, and so having a more expensive cannon to upgrade into arties and having to build
It's
more of them
actually bad.
is actually bad.
Yeah.
So it is a slight knock on the Civ. But yeah, Thor, you're right. Like the Civ is. I think if Honor was good, if we were in an Honor meta, I think the Civ would be S tier. But I think putting in A is totally reasonable because the reality is if the Caravansary, if you have garrisons up, maybe it wouldn't be S tier, but maybe A plus. If you have
Like-
garrisons up, it just becomes like the cost of it is so much less because you're already garrisoning all your cities.
Like
So
for me, the problem with that logic though is that like a civ like a COD or a Ubids gets more benefit from killing a player like that, while having better early sim bonuses with the worker improvement speed and the library. So
maybe. All right. I mean, we'll put it in A and leave it at that. But like this has way more scaling, right? You think that, or do you think they have more scaling? Ayubids or a COD?
well, I think you
Ayubids
turn
maybe,
like
but
you
I don't
turn
think a
like
COD does.
your game with the kill on Ubids and a COD into a better game usually, but
I think
it's
Ayubids. There's an argument. I don't know if there's a good argument on a COD, but that's just me.
All
right.
right.
On the flip side is Mughals is better on one empire if you're just chilling.
That's true. That's totally true.
So I think we all agree.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone want to talk about my sword?
I will. I will talk about my sword. I freaking hate this Civ, man. They are the Congo of tradition. Like, you have to play Trad on this Civ, and that's a bad trait to have. Being forcing of anything is bad, but like, Trad forcing is like one of the worst. I mean, the most lenient forcing is probably Piety, but like Trad forcing is not great. On some civs like Aztec, it's fine because Aztec's like unique building is actually genuinely strong enough to make you not care that much, and like you're gonna have a good game. This is not like this civ does nothing until you get specialists, so there's no early bonuses to speak of at all. Specialist getting a food and a hammer is pretty good. To be fair, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's strong, but like specialist generating more unhappiness is like terrible, dude. And just like Congo, I won't go into it again, but it can just really screw you in the late game, and you can wind up being so unhappy. Granted, like you can kind of modulate your unhappiness by unworking specialists, but it's a very annoying trait. I don't really like civs that give me unhappiness very much. I will say though that like their unique arty is one of my favorite units in the game to use. I'm not saying it's the strongest unit in the game, but it's one of my personal favorites. It's like really fun. You can just like run around and you don't actually have to set up your arty to shoot. So pretty broken on that front, but the unhappiness really kills this thing for me.
Yeah. I think the best part about the Civ is the Hermitage, but it's like definitely not enough of a bonus for me to think the Civ is strong. Like the Hermitage is good. It comes at Chivalry, which is super early relative to where Hermitage usually is at Architecture. It gives you like a few more yields, and it gives you a Golden Age, which is huge actually. But like, I mean, that's like the best part of the Civ. I mean, I don't care that much. Like I think the Civ is D tier.
I think you have to play trad. Not only that, you have to like probably play freedom too, because like
You don't have
I don't.
to. You can definitely play autocracy. and
I
have
would
it
just be
happiness.
I would just be very scared to like take the civ and like wind up on 4 empires on -50. But
Conversely, though, it's a lot of yields on specialists.
It is kind of a lot of
it
yields.
it is, and that's why I'm not going to say anything crazy like they're F tier. But I genuinely do think they're D tier personally.
So, a little bit about me. I played a good amount of vanilla, single player, not multiplayer. And one of the issues I always ran into vanilla and vanilla Civ is there's never enough happiness on the map. especially when like AIs don't always trade you. Like this was I was a kid, so when I started playing Lek, I was always worried about being unhappy. So I've never played this Civ because of the specialist, because I thought it was always the end of the world, and it kind of is, right? The reality is like it's not like the end of the world, but it's very hard. And to stay happy on the Civ, and I think because of that, it just has to go in D. So
Yeah,
Does
I
anyone
mean,
actually like this Civ?
I used to. I used to like the Civ back when I only played Tradition.
I've heard Kuba defend it before, saying exactly it's a lot of yields on your specialists, but Kuba hates Tradition, and I remind him that every time he thinks about picking the Civ. So, and then he doesn't pick it. So,
It's funny.
um,
Kuba loves watching Tradition games, but he doesn't play it ever.
no, it's because he's a kind of he lacks the judgment of like. Well, I don't think he lacks the judgment. I think he played with Hawks a good amount, and that just like scarred a lot of people from playing Tradition.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Kuba has very, very good judgment. So I think it's just like he's lost things to bullshit before. And also you got to remember like Kuba's been playing for so long that like he played in the Baba lobbies where people would OCCGL and then you'd be fucked, right? So
I mean, that's kind of like all why I don't like Tradition that much anymore. I still like it, but like I'm not as high on it as I used to be. Anyway, yeah, I think the tier's pretty fair.
the next civ is Nabatea.
Dude, I'm not gonna say this Civ's bad, but I hate them.
I love this civ.
They're pretty good.
It's insane.
I know they're good, but
They're
I hate them.
I
But
also don't like them.
I know they're good because I know they're good because I don't really want other people to play them because I know there's a high chance they're going to have an insane game. But just personally, I really value consistency above like things that can either low roll or high roll. And this Civ does have the potential to just completely screw you because it's like the only Civ in the game where you can just actually lose to barbarians, and yeah, that's not good.
Yep. For those who don't know, the scout can't slam. The scout replacement has 3 movement and it gives you free money for discovering city states and players. But
So yeah, and then also so additional movement, you get gold for city states and players. Because of that, you get a shit ton of runes. You also get to meet like all the city states on that very quickly. You almost always buy a worker on the civ.
Yep.
You have to take a worse worker seal most of the time to like with your warrior essentially to steal, and like stealing with a warrior can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But the immediate compensation is that like you bought a worker, so it's not really a big deal.
yeah, like it's obviously good. It's obviously worth it.
The mid part about the civ is freshwater farms. You get +1 food at mathematics. It's nice. It's a nice benefit. It's not like the best benefit in the world because the reality is when you tech math, generally you're not like your cities are not big enough that they would be working that many freshwater farms at that point in time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to have that many improved as well.
Exactly. So, but the bigger part of the civ, in my opinion, is the caravanserai that has so you build this caravanserai, which is not a building you're ordinarily building. It yields 3 gold and 2 food, and that essentially is enough food that your civ with the combined with the freshwater farms that you will just explode in population. It is a just phenomenal liberty civ. You generally have tempo because you bought a worker and you have all this extra gold and ruins and scouts.
Yep.
That like when you have good freshwater land and you have a good amount and you click liberty on the civ, your game will feel insane. Thor, a little bit to your point, like you're like Finland or Liberty is still good on Finland, even though that Liberty's not great in this meta. Liberty's still good on Nabatea, even though Liberty's not great in this meta, right?
Yeah, I know it is. Like Liberty and Trad on Nabatea are both so good.
The only bad thing about the Civ, which is also kind of a good thing, is it has a desert bias. That's kind of a double-edged sword because sometimes you have a desert bias, so your land sucks because you have flat desert everywhere, and sometimes you have an insane Petra. So just is what it is. I think the Civ is an A-tier Civ. I would like to put an A+, but I look at the A+ Civs and I kind of can't put it next to them. So
Really, I would have to knock it to B because of like the low roll potential.
really,
No, I think you can play around the low roll potential enough that like
Yeah, I mean that's fair. If you're getting your ass kicked, you could just buy a warrior and archer or
the
something.
other thing is the scouts can fortify.
I know.
So it's not like they just get fucked all the time, right? And I don't know. I think bar management is kind of a little bit of
like yeah, sometimes you do get fucked, but like
Like,
it is skill issue, but it also isn't. Like you can wind up in those like spawns where you have 3 camps spawning into you from each side, and like on a normal game you can deal with that and be fine. It just might be a bit slow. But on Nabatea you can be forced into situations where you'll either have to build or purchase an extra unit or you're cooked.
I mean,
I
that can
totally get
happen on a
that, but
normal
like
Civ
also
too.
like on Nabatea, you actually have the goal to purchase an extra unit and have it be no big deal, right?
That's fair.
So
Like that can happen on any Civ. Like just because your scouts can slam doesn't mean you won't get wrecked by barbs sometimes.
I don't know. It's like the only Civ where I
I
like will ever have to build another unit.
I don't know about you guys, but like I think the only complaint is that like okay, like your warrior is not stealing, or your warrior is stealing, so you're protecting with barb
Yeah.
or with your scouts, right? And that's like the downside. But honestly, like it's not that the scouts can't slam. Like I don't slam with my scouts very often anyway. Like very
Yeah.
rarely I'm actually
It's just
slamming barbs and
Well,
scouts, right?
imagine you have an archer just like sitting back like a couple tiles away, just shooting you. Like normally
yeah,
you bait
like
it in and slam.
yeah, exactly.
For sure. But I don't know. I think also this Civ has enough tempo that like you can mitigate it. I think.
I mean, I agree. I'm just saying like A tier civs are really good. And maybe Nabatea is really good, and I'm just biased against it.
The only thing I had against Matt Nabatea was there's one game I played Sad Trad because I probably had like an honor spawn, an old honor on Nabatea, and I thought this Civ was really bad because I didn't know how to play the land very well because I thought it should have been honor. And probably honor was probably the best thing, but you can't play catapult honor on the Civ, which is honestly fine because catapult honor is really bad now. But the fact that you can't multi-steal with your scouts is very very anti-honor leaning. So
Yep. I think A is fair.
okay, cool.
Okay.
Previously my favorite coastal, not anymore. What do you guys think of Netherlands?
The Civ is just generically pretty good. I think like getting free happiness and free gold is so good. The Civ is amazing on Coastal Liberty, obviously, because of that. The polders are really nice. The Sea Beggar, it's like decent.
It's good on Coastal Liberty. It's also just like decent on Trad, honestly. Like the extra food gold is really good. So
I tend to think that the Civ is like a tier above Kilwa, so I think A is where I'd end up.
yeah, I don't know how much I want to talk about this Civ. I mean the polders are really cool. They make settling islands very cool. Because you get a lot of them on like your islands. If you get lakes, you're definitely comfortable settling like inlands for them or marshes.
Yep.
Um, it's like it's a little bit fun to play sometimes because of the polders. Polders don't actually get good till econ though. Like it's kind of like it's one of these things that it's like they're cool tiles, but like it's a little bit cope. The thing that's really good about the Civ is like you have so much happy and gold early because you get an extra happy from all your luxes and an extra gold on all your luxes when you work them. And honestly, like Costa has so much scaling in it that all you need sometimes is a little bit tempo injected to your game to make your games feel really, really strong. And that's what Netherlands does. The Sea Beggar is also just an insane privateer. Very, very strong. Makes frigating on the Civ like quite good.
I will
but
say, I think the Civ plays better than it like looks.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Like on paper, like the bonuses don't look like that insane, but like
Well,
when you play it, like your game always just feels good, and
often,
especially
sorry, continue.
like I was just gonna say the Civ makes Coastal Liberty so easy and
Yeah.
awesome.
I was gonna say like its unique ability often reads like 16 to 20 extra happiness, like
Yeah.
on Coastal Liberty, and that's just that's an insane amount of happiness on a like even when you compare it to like most happy civs
Indonesia.
only give like what. Oh, sure. Well, shut up. I was gonna say most happy civs only give like one happy per city. It's not even a civ like Burma that like starts to actually compete with that, which is 2 happy per city and maybe be better. So, and that's like all Burma scaling. Like Burma's just tempo and happiness per city, and that's an A tier civ, right? And Netherlands is kind of a little bit more scaling, but a bunch of happy on a civ and also a lot more gold and more scaling,
Yeah.
right? So and
Dude, the
that's an
Civ is like if Indonesia got the Luxes from settling inland or
yeah,
on the mainland.
honestly, kind of, yeah. So I think we throw it an A,
Yeah,
and we go
that's good.
from there. Thor, you want to talk about your favorite coastal or no?
I would like to. So, all right, I don't really play coast, guys. It's very rare I'll speak up for a coastal civ, but this is easily my favorite coastal in the game. I'm not gonna say it's like objectively the strongest, but it just feels so broken to play, dude. Like this is Nabatea, but better and without any downsides, basically. So like you basically just build like 3 scouts. You can even do 2, but you earn all these like extra yields, like either 10 faith or like 5 or 6 culture, 40 gold, or 12 science. And you typically get kind of like a mix of all of them. And it just does so much for your game. You are so rich. Like you're always buying a worker. I've had games where I bought a granary. Um, you usually will get first panth. On coast, that matters a lot, a lot. If you're playing tradition, you can like build your shrine like kind of whenever. You don't have to grief super hard for it, and chances are good you're gonna get 10 faith from meeting a CS or a player. So you just get God of the Sea. You open tradition faster on average usually, or get tradition 1 faster. You get a ton of gold, you get a ton of tech, and you're buying like a worker or maybe even a granary if you're lucky. And this just leads to having a phenomenal amount of tempo on the coast. And the coast kind of struggles with tempo. I think this is probably the best tempo coastal civ in the game. And this just allows you to have an awesome tradition game where you pretty much get every wonder. And I mean, go from there. But if you're having a great tradition game with every wonder on the coast, you're probably going to find a way to be relevant and scale well later, because that's just kind of what the coast does.
So the bonuses on New Zealand when you look at them, which are, you know, the 10 faith, the 6 culture, the 40 gold, or the 12 science, which you can only get at best 17 times one of those yields, which is don't get me wrong, that's a lot, but like it's not, there's no scaling. Look pretty mediocre, especially when it's a WU civ. So that has a defender and the unique infantry. That being said, all Coast needs to be a little strong, and specifically on tradition, is a little bit of tempo injected into their games. And this injects a lot of tempo. New Zealand injects a lot of tempo into the game and allows you to do things like, you know, contest GL a lot more easily, or like, you know, go for a GL Oracle play on the coast, which is like very, very strong if you can get it. Or, you know, GL and build Colossus and then be first to unis, right? Because your sim is just insane because you have all this extra tempo from your game, and science and whatever. And that is what New Zealand used to be my favorite civ as well. So even though that the sim benefits aren't like insane, like we talked about Netherlands, just like, you know, a little bit of tempo in your game is all you need. Like this is a lot more tempo than Netherlands, and it makes your game feel phenomenal. And it's the thing is you always get one of these yields, and you like it becomes relatively consistent, so that your game feels pretty consistently very good. So, Knights, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I was down on this civ for a while. There was a period of time where I thought this was just like an average coast, or like, okay, at first I thought the civ was insane, and then after a while I was like, actually, the early game bonuses, they're like good, but like other coastal civs are better. But now I'm like kind of back to, yeah, this civ is like pretty freaking good. Like bonuses are nice. There was a period like of time where I thought like defenders are not good anymore because they nerfed coastal city slamming, but no, they're still pretty insane. These defenders are unkillable and will just kill your cities if you desire.
You got
So
Friend by
I will
by
say,
the
like, another kind of data point that supports this civs really good is I've noticed a lot of coastal mains, like guys who you always see on the coast in NQ, they will always play New Zealand over anything if they can, like 9 times out of 10.
and a lot of times they have great games.
Yep. Like you'll always see Tempo try to swap for New Zealand. I remember Jeb would always like rig his draft so it had New Zealand every time. He would play it every game. Like it's a preference of a lot of people. So thinking it's insane is like a pretty common opinion.
Yeah,
this
I
civ. I also think people were down on because it got nerfed a couple times. I think.
yeah, I
Just
think
like
I'm
just
in
like
between.
Colombia.
I'm like in between A plus and A on this civ.
I think it's probably. Let me think about the civs I'd want to put in A plus for coastals.
Let me ask you this to calibrate: are we putting the best coastal civ at S?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, then this is A plus.
Okay, that's fine.
I feel like it's hard to rate this civ over Chile, but maybe Chile is just underrated. I don't know.
Chile's like maybe underrated. I like don't even like the coast, and I thought Chile was A at a minimum. It's really good, but I don't know. Regardless of that, the Civ is very good.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
down for A+ for New
would
Zealand.
more people play Chile if it like if games actually went to Guardians like consistently? Like
Yeah,
like I don't know if we're down on Chile a little bit because it is it's not an insta win unit, but it's so good when you
it's
get it
pretty
It is.
right.
close. It's pretty
If
close
you're
to an
in a
instant
duel,
win.
it is an insta win unit, right?
Yeah,
It will
you are
kill
correct.
whoever, right? So, and probably in a teaming triangle, it means that you have to
It
be
is
teamed.
not an instant win unit in a teaming triangle,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I do think to be fair, when we talked about Chile, we did acknowledge like a couple things. We said it has like a mind control effect where people
yeah,
slam you,
Yeah.
and we also factored in that sometimes you just don't get to Cardoans. But I think the implication there, even if we didn't say it, is like if that doesn't happen, and if you do get to Cardoans, it is like an A plus
It's an S
tier.
tier Civ, yeah.
It might be an S tier civ then. So like we did like
yeah. That's fair.
there's like a
Yeah.
conditionality in it, and there's not really that in New Zealand. It's just always consistently good.
Yep. I agree.
I think this is good rankings. Anyone want to talk about the Civ that I think no one likes
This civ
Well,
is ass.
except Miota?
some people are always going to be on our ass for thinking the Civ is bad, but
It's not
unfortunately,
bad.
the
It's just
Civ is
not
kind of
good.
bad.
Like, I mean, the issue is it's not good, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, right? The combat bonus is okay, but you have no early summit bonuses. The Montebailings, like, they make land consistent, but they don't make land good, right?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, they get pretty strong at flight, but like, so you have no early sim bonuses. The Pedite is not a timing. It's not a unit that you can get a kill with. It is cool that it's on metal casting, right? And it makes you like hard to die. But I've seen so many people fuck up Pedite pushes by just like putting pikes in forts. Like it's like Pedites need to like assist crossbows essentially, and then you're going
Yep.
chop bows, and
Yeah,
chop bows is pretty bad.
I've
So
seen Achilles just like pedite someone and just go ear.
yep, the issue is that comps don't have the ability to kill pikes behind Pedites.
Yeah.
So
I
if you
feel
have
like I feel like Normandy is actually really good if you think free for all is skirm, but if you don't think it's skirm, then it's really bad.
I mean, the one thing about the Civ is it scales really hard. The culture on flight is very significant from the Montebellis.
I mean,
But
yeah, that's true. Like the Montebailles are great at flight, but like, can you really say that this Civ scales harder than in like an
Nope.
actual scaling Civ?
Yeah, like whales,
No.
for instance.
Yeah, like
no, I mean
whales. No.
I'm
Yeah.
arguing like is it like no
It's a sim.
no
It's a
it
sim
doesn't.
with like it's a sim with zero early bonuses for sim that eventually scales a little bit. That's what it is, and it has a lot of combat bonuses about like random shit. Like cities get 5% 5 strength or so. You get 10% like combat bonus outside of friendly territory. It is like pretty good if you're playing some like really like slamish game.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
but if you're not, then it does almost nothing at all.
This is a Civ that like will usually help you not get slammed. So that's nice.
Yeah, I mean so like I think about Mason's. Did you guys watch that Mason game
Yeah,
in the
I did.
playoffs where he like
The
pedate?
one that I was in.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot you were in it. Sorry, you were kind of irrelevant at that point in time. Um, this guy couldn't even sim to like turn 70 being relevant, but uh, no, like the Pedites fucked up the Jakarta swords as they should. It's a long sword versus a sword, and he got the kill on whoever it was very quickly.
let's
Uh,
let's let's be real.
but
That most of that war was crossbows.
most of that war was crossbows, and B, he was honor, and then he had to go shops crossbows and stole no techs, I think, and so was so incredibly irrelevant. Like Mason was not in a good spot for the rest of that game. Like none of the, and that's kind of what you can do.
Yeah.
Like, can you get a kill with the Civ and the unit if you go shops crossbows? Yes, you will. Does that mean your game will be good after the fact? No. And Mason kind of like he got pretty close to losing the game because of it, right? Like you can't be set up for to kill someone as wide honor and then be hitting 130 oil or an oil unit, right, and expect to defend next to tradition commerce. Doesn't work.
I'll
right? So
I'll say it. The Civ is D tier.
no,
I mean,
I'm picking the Civ over every D
I
tier Civ.
kind of agree.
Fuck.
So based, and I knew it.
God
But here's the
but
thing.
damn it.
Here's the thing. Just
I don't
read.
hate C. But I won't argue against C tier if you want to just.
I won't. I won't either. But just think about it. Everything in C tier offers some kind of like significant sim bonus, and this Civ does nothing at all. If you don't like war
The
or get
unique
slammed, the Civ does nothing.
Kind of is a sim
Improvement
bonus.
is good,
Like
but
It's
it's
like
not
it's
great.
just not significantly better than like a trading post, and it's not something you want to work before the culture's online anyway.
what do you mean a trading post? It's so much better than
Well,
a trading post.
A commerce trading post with
you
ratio
work
1.
you work all of them because you can put them on resource tiles.
Yeah.
But,
So
like-
so it's one food, one production, and then like if I have a granary tile, right, and I put them on I put it on my deer, right, it becomes like 4 food if it's grass.
I know.
Like 2 hammer deal, and that is
I
a sim
know,
bonus,
but I'm just saying it's not that good. And why I'm saying trading post is like by the time it actually scales and gets to culture from flight, that's also the time you're commerce 5 ratio 1 right now. So like you would rather be working a trading post.
I can see like Normandy being on the same power level as some of these C tier civs like Austria, like Germany, like Congo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do have some pretty bad civs in C tier, so like I'm not opposed.
like are
Like
you clicking,
Mongolia is pretty useless too.
Are you clicking like, let's say, let me ask you, if you have Mysore or Normandy in your draft, you're clicking Normandy every time, right?
No, I'm actually clicking my sword to be honest.
In a tournament, I would click Normandy, but
True.
I mean, I think my sword's more fun, so I would actually click my sword.
Yeah, exactly. But okay,
Right
like
there.
sure, it's better in attorney than my sword. Yeah, it's whatever. Not by much. It's like pretty similar to Mongolia, which I think barely belongs in C right now.
I'm in between C and D. I don't really care.
Maybe
Yeah.
C is too big. Maybe it is in D. I think it's C, but maybe like I could see an argument that like the top half of C is a lot better than the bottom half.
Ireland's better. Ireland helps you in every game. There's no chance that like you're playing a civ that does like almost nothing for you at all.
Okay, you convinced me.
Let's go in the bin. Oh, I'm so happy.
Miota is gonna give us so much shit.
Galfat's gonna leave a very angry comment.
Galfat will leave another angry comment.
I will say though that if you're playing in like a meta or like a lobby where there's lots of liberty and honor, lots of like early and mid game war, the civ gets bumped up like several notches.
Yeah. Does anyone want to talk about Norway?
I think this is one of the worst coastal civs in the game.
I think this is one of the worst civs in the game.
It's also not interesting, so hopefully we don't have to talk about the
I
civ for
would-
too long.
Rather play Indonesia.
It's so true. Where does it go
That's
next?
great.
Below Indonesia.
Oh God.
All right.
To move Indonesia up.
Nope. Hell no, never.
Cool. This civ actually doesn't do anything. It gives you one faith on your coastal resources, and then like that's it. Like the temple.
That is good. That is a good bonus, but like
It's not a good
coastal
bonus.
civs need
It's
very strong bonuses. in
let's
order
be
to good.
honest. It's not a good bonus.
It is
It's
a good
an
bonus.
okay bonus.
No,
right?
it's a good bonus, but it's all the civ has.
No, think about the other coastal bonuses. Like think about the other coastal UAs, right? You'd rather have New Zealand's coastal UA. You'd rather have Netherlands coastal UA, right? Like you'd rather
Yeah.
have like
Yeah, for sure, by far.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why it's an F tier.
No, you guys said it's a good coastal or UA. I'm saying it's not even a good UA. It's like an okay UA.
I didn't
Right.
say it was good compared to any other coastal, but just it's good.
Hey, it's good
Sure,
compared to Brunei's
sure.
UA.
It's
It's
good-
literally Jerusalem, by the way, but it's coastal, so it's ear.
Well,
Yeah, checkmate, coastal
no,
players.
Jerusalem is better.
I mean, I'm kind of rage baiting, but like, yeah.
This
Okay.
civ sucks.
Okay, let's talk about Nubia.
I don't know. I never know where to put the civ. I always love it and hate it. It's like I've had some of my best games ever on Nubia. We all have, but I hate the civ, to be honest. It sucks.
The civ is insane tempo because you start with a free scout.
That is half the civ.
pretty
Yep.
much. And it
It's-
has a desert bias, so your land might just be air, and there's nothing you can do about it.
To me, it's like Mexico, but more flexible and slightly better.
I want to.
like you can't rate this below Mexico, in my opinion.
No, you can't. I want to put the Civ in A tier, but I can't.
It's insane. Yeah, it feels Mexico-ish.
Well, I'm
It-
down to just put it like at the top of B tier. Like,
Yeah, I think that's where it is. I love this
Yeah.
Civ too. Like, because the Desert Double-Edged Sword is like this also insane thing because like you can just play trad and open a worker and then like you 3-pop all your settlers and then you're done making settlers on turn 20 on 4-city trad and then you start GL and then nobody has their luxes up so you can't settle anyway and like you're like, fuck, I have too much tempo, right? And then like Rai said that in one of his videos, he's like, you're getting Nubian. Like your game just feels too good. And then and he was kind of right? So but I think the Civ, when you can get the tempo, when you can get the GL and the Petra and everything, like then your game feels insane because it's like all the things that Trad does well, and it's Trad shining at that point, not the Civ. But the Civ, it kind of like takes the tempo and enables that. But I mean, the Civ doesn't do much, right? Like so, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
the blast furnace is like a decent building, but yeah, nothing to write home about.
All right, Oman. The Civ was all the craze not too long ago in the previous meta.
I mean, I think people think the Civ is fun. I don't know if people think the Civ is good.
I think that
No,
people like hella overrated the Civ during the
Yeah.
they did.
during,
like- There was the whole coastal honor fad in the order meta.
Yeah.
And there were games
Yeah.
won on it. Sierra played a pretty good game on this.
like I think
Um,
yeah, the correct way to play the Civ is definitely Coastal Honor, like during that time. But I mean, Honor got nerfed.
The thing
like,
I hate,
Order got nerfed.
the thing I hate
All
about
these
this,
things. Heard that.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree, Knights. But the other thing about the Civ is that like this Civ likes to pick on other coastal Civs, right? In a lot of ways. And I also think Coast is kind of cringe, and this is like the biggest cringer because it just picks on all the other coastals, and
Yeah.
then it does all the like the cringe things that Coast can do to inland anyway. So I really like. I don't like the Civ, but I get it.
Like
This Civ feels really degenerate to me, by the way, because it's like it's always the same. Somebody picks this, the other guy doesn't want to play the coast anymore, and then if you're like,
yeah, so true.
if you're like in a tourney where like somebody's just going to get random coasted now, it's like if the two coastal players spawn as neighbors, like the guy who got randomed is going to do something completely stupid, like chariot the Oman player. Because they just know they know what's going to happen. The Boglas will come, and they will not last. So like they will comp them, or something. I've seen this happen so many times. It's just a shit show.
Okay, the main part about the Civ is that Boglas are insane units. Like
Yeah,
you get so many yields for killing things, and they're so strong, and they can kill cities. They can kill like any unit before medieval. Basically, they're so good. But like other than that, other than the Boglas, the Civ doesn't really have sim bonuses. You get seaports and captured cities actually, which is a nice bonus for honor, but it's not that strong. So, I mean, I think I don't like the Civ because it doesn't have good sim bonuses. That said, the Civ does have some. The Civ does have the potential to have ridiculously explosive games. You can high roll like crazy if you just spawn next to like some chump on the coast and eat them. So I don't think it can be F tier for that reason. But
yeah, it's not F tier.
I'm hard pressed to put them above D. Just because of like how much honor, even Expo got nerfed.
But you get
Honor,
a free
Expo,
kill
and
if you
Order all
spawn
got
next to the
nerfed.
other coastal Knights.
What?
You get a free kill. Like
Yeah, like the high roll potential on this Civ is
40%
crazy.
of the time, you just get a free kill. Right?
There's no such thing as a guaranteed free kill in this game if the other player's good, by the way. Maybe the only unit that can ever do that is Cardoans, but even then. But
Free kill on computers. Woo!
woo, yeah, but it's not a free kill. You get a kill, and like how good that is relative. But anyway, this Civ used to like definitely be B tier at least like in honor order meta, but those things are both nerfed and it's D tier now.
I have no opinion on the Civ. I haven't thought about the Civ in a very long time. I don't like
It's
the
like
Civ.
really low for a coastal civ. Like imagine ever picking this like if you had say Netherlands, unless you just wanted to like attack somebody for fun.
Oh, all I'm
The
saying is
Civ
that like I never want to pick. Like I don't want to think about the Civ ever again. Like past this.
on
Like I don't.
average, the Civ is worse than Australia and Japan, but
Yeah,
you can
Yeah.
have insane games on it.
I agree.
true.
Anybody want to talk about Ottomans?
Yeah, I can talk a bit. So like this civ is a cool design. And it is a absolute terror to have in your lobby, dude. The civ is so scary. It's terrible to have in your lobby. This is like almost like Cardoan tier, I feel. Like the combined threat of like supplies and janissaries and faith purchasing can just create these unstoppable attack scenarios. I think the most prolific example is that classic tourney game from Lumpen. Right, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Not off the top of my
And
head, but I believe.
oh, you haven't seen that, dude? You have to watch it.
How many people does
Like
he kill?
everybody.
Oh
6
damn.
or 5.
He just starts killing like it chariots and never stops. It's a classic Lumpen game, but you can see it wasn't just Lumpen. Like you can see the work Ottomans was putting into that, and it's a pretty best case scenario. But Civ's really strong. I'll let Knights take it from there.
I mean, yes, the Civ does have like a ridiculous Renaissance timing, but the problem I have is that like that's basically most of what this Civ has. Like the unique ability, you can say it has some nice sim bonuses. You can get a Pantheon off of getting promotions on your units. The happiness from religions is oftentimes at least 1, often 2 happiness per city. Sometimes even 3 if you spawn in the middle of the map and get lucky, which can be really strong actually. But that's like the only sim bonus the Civ has basically. And other than that, all the Civ is doing is helping you get a kill around Renaissance. And that can be really strong, but that by itself does not win games. And so like it can't be any higher than A tier, in my opinion.
Oh,
because of that.
totally agree. And in fact, other civs that do kind of the same thing, like China, we haven't rated that high. But I will say that among those civs, Ottomans is like definitely the most unstoppable. Like among all the civs that only kill somebody, Ottomans really does the best job at it, in my opinion, which does like give them some consideration.
Ashwin warned me one time as Ottomans, and I had the Gaul unit, unique longsword in forts, lined up, and with like mountain chokes and stuff for a while, and then he realized, oh, I can just go around those, and if any tile you don't have forted, it's just insta death rather than like you by chance getting a swap off. And I'm gonna do that, right? Like, cause we had this like he like went through around a CS to kill me, outside of his borders. And I'll say like, I was pretty good at the time, very prepared, and it didn't matter, right? Like this
You
unit
did
like
not
truly,
last.
yeah, like I had a pretty good like first 5 turns of the war until Ashwin realized, oh yeah, you know, like you have this heavily fortified, heavily garrisoned part of this front. I'm just not gonna go there, and you didn't.
Yeah.
And like that's how good this is, right? Like
Yeah.
unless you have something else, and like that's a stronger longsword, right? Like that should do better, right? But it doesn't matter. So
Sapahis are like really just the Cardoan of medieval. Like they don't ignore Zoc obviously, but they have 5 movement instead of 4. And since pillaging doesn't take movement with them, they have a way of just finding their way into like some hole and they get in your back line. And then you can't get rid of them. They just will run away. They pillage everything and heal. And then like Janissaries are so cheap to produce and they heal on kill.
yeah,
So like I mean, they can just like you can finish off like a sequence with the Janissary slam, and the Janissary takes the tile, and it's like full health again, which is broken. And then there's the whole interaction with like promos and faith purchasing more units. So like, and the
hammers.
units are cheaper. Both of them are cheaper. In fact, you just get out hammered, you get out grinded, and you will not last.
they also have a bonus when initiating, like when starting combat, right? So like when they attack, they get 25% bonus. So like
Yeah, that's
Janissaries
right.
like so you have this forted unit, and then you like even if you have a good line set up, they like double slam with Janissaries, like a 70 health unit in a fort fortified, and it still dies, like because they're that strong. So It's not really a stop. Like the only time like you can delay these units and then maybe get to Artie. That's how you stop it. But generally, by the time you get to Artie, they're just gonna see like they'll take a city or two and they'll steal a bunch of techs and they'll steal half the way and then they'll go industrial while they're doing it, right? So like really good defenses on those units. Like if they kind of get started, so to speak, and they like start to break your line, like you're just dead and they're gonna steal a bunch of techs. Sucks.
If this
Civ-
guy's, by the way, when this Civ's my neighbor, I do crossbow them.
Yeah, you should.
This Civ is super dumb, but at the same time, like we.
Oh, the timing. It's not. It's not. The Civ is not insane. The timing is really dumb to play against.
Yeah,
and I think
in terms
that is
of,
the frustration.
yeah,
right.
In terms of bullshit Civs or like Civs that are S tier and dual, this is like at the top. But in terms of like winning games, this might still just be B tier, to be honest.
Yeah, I think unfortunately the Civ is not much higher than B tier because it does the one thing that it does really well. And if your lobby's all noobs and you're winning anyway, like you can use this timing to kind of run over everybody, right? However, like I've seen Abraxas do it in like pretty poor NQ lobbies. However, this Civ, like, it's not. I don't know how to put it. Like people complain about the Civ not because it's so strong, but because they don't like playing against it. If that makes sense. So it shouldn't be higher in your rankings because people don't play against it because it's not actually that good at winning the game. It's just good at like being annoying and obnoxious and killing one player most of the time that's relatively prepared, right? So
yep.
Cool. Any other comments on the Civ before we put it in B tier?
Nope.
I think
good.
you should put it at like the top of B tier.
I agree.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure. I haven't really been futzing with this, and we can futz with the tiers kind of later. So
yeah.